flex season, fuck 12, come and get me. Get your ass to run around high speed, chasing all the big bags. Bending corners, bending rules, bending necks, give your bitch a whiplash. Slide through hot knife, warm butter storm, gutter drain lane. Young man, old habit, still at it, tryna let my chain hang. True story, new story, two-story, condo, B&B. 4 bath, 1 me, no key, like I did a B&E. Being me, so good, so hood, so not worried about it. 250,000 new views, old news, know you probably heard about it. Extra, read about it, headline, word around town, flexing. Ballin' on my course, so I ain't worried about nobody out of bounds, stressing. Feeling like Hercules, murder these pussies ain't a problem to me. Tight to tell the maid service, don't come unless you bringin' condoms to me. Flexing ain't discreet about it, extra, read about it. Say you wanna beef about it, we gon' come and see about it. Flexing ain't discreet about it, extra, read about it. Say you wanna beef about it, find out nothing sweet about it. Moving, shaking, coming down to me. Stacking, racking, money, power flipping. Moving, shaking, coming down to me. Stacking, racking, money, power flipping. Moving, shaking, coming down to me. Stacking, racking, money, power flipping. Moving, shaking, coming down to me. Stacking, racking, money, power flipping.
Yeah, talking to my mirror like I love you so much. Curving on my critics like I heard you, so what? You can't kill my confidence, I think I'm the man. Tally all the fucks I ever gave on my head. Lately I've been living like I can't take a loss. They ain't wanna help me, that's what made me a boss. You can't kill my confidence, I think I'm the man. We don't give a fuck, that's what they don't understand.
Back again like flu season, I broke records while loose leafing. I'm coming down my roof, leaving, don't give a fuck, I don't care. Did the shit by my lonesome, no wonder now I'm on one. No shortcuts on that long run, all I really want is my share. Get him, I got him, I told him it's nothing. In the discussion, fuck all them feelings, I throw all my pain on percussion. Shit is disgusting, I hear them bragging about shit that they did, and it do not move me, not in the least. They ain't been dropping no seeds in the soil, but swear that you almost spotted the feast. I've been on go mode, show mode, showboat, rowboat, wave ride. Cool shorty, too naughty, pool party, wet for the face ride. Annie up, penny down, hand me down, thrift store, old drip. New money, too funny, old shorty, talk about old shit. I'm on they ass now, can't get a pass now, I'm a cash cow, keeping it brash now. Niggas is trash now, I'ma spaz out. I've been killing my lows and living on highs, you see in the sky's the proof. You could just see in my eyes that there is no lies, I cannot disguise the truth. I've been ducked off, getting sucked off in my new merch, color duck sauce on the new couch with my chucks on. Get the fuck on with that hate. I'm big cool on the small chat, cause I know now that I'm all that. Got a hawk guy on the ball cat, get the fuck out of my face.
Talking to my mirror like I love you so much. Curving on my critics like I heard you, so what? You can't kill my confidence, I think I'm the man. Tally all the fucks I ever gave on my head. Lately I've been living like I can't take a loss. They ain't wanna help me, that's what made me a boss. You can't kill my confidence, I think I'm the man. We don't give a fuck, that's what they don't understand.
My man say, looking in the mirror like I love you so much. I love that cut. That being said, welcome to Paradigm Shift TV 314. This is your brother, DMG the Poet, aka Brother Pianki. We got another powerful show with a powerful guest. Been trying to get this brother on for a minute. A lot of respect for the brother, a lot of admiration. Before we get into our spiel, though, let me do my usual greeting. Let me say God bless to my Christian brothers and sisters. Let me say Hotep to my Kemetic brothers and sisters. Let me say Shalom to my Israelite brothers and sisters. Islam to my Moorish brothers and sisters. Assalamu alaikum to my brothers and sisters in the NOI. Peace to my brothers and sisters in the nation of gods and earth, them 5%ers. Let me say what's up to my atheist brothers and sisters. Shout out to my Abo brothers and sisters. What's up to my Rasta brothers and sisters. And last but not least, Jumbo. To the rest of my brothers and sisters throughout the African diaspora, be it here in the wilderness of the United States of America or beyond. Now, y'all know I say that greeting for one reason and one reason only, is because if you Black, I'm with you. And I hope that you with me. Our different ideologies should not keep us from uniting, and we can have unity without uniformity. And we can disagree without being disrespectfully disagreeable. With that being said, my brother, can you introduce yourself to the paradigm?
Hey, what's going on, everyone? Yeah, man. Beautiful intro, good brother. First of all, I want to give a shout out to you, Ben, for allowing me the opportunity on your platform to, let some of my views be exposed with the people. And I want to thank you for your diligent work in the community, the way you've been holding down some of our elders in our community, as well as some of the younger people in the community. For those of you that do not know me, I go by the name of Mudiwa Mugabe. I'm from Los Angeles, California proper. I've been in the community for quite some time on several different levels. And I just want to make sure I disseminate some of the information that I have before it's my checkout time. You know, I'm getting a little long in the tooth, and I think some of the things that I know, they have to be shared with some of the younger comrades to move forward in this thing called liberation.
And that's all we can do, brothers, as men who are of a certain age. I'll be 47 on October 14th. And so I feel like it's my job to give as much wisdom to younger men as I possibly can to keep them from hopefully making the mistakes that I made. And so,
Absolutely.
you know, I make it my business to try to get them pearls of wisdom with regards to their relationships with sisters, handling their business as it relates to not going the route of a life of crime, but showing them how to do legal hustles and things of that nature. And so from some of the work I understand that you do, I definitely got a level of respect for you. You mentioned holding it down for the elders, and I want to shout out our brother Sarnetta and the recent challenges he's been having with a lot of the false information that's been put out about him. And I just want to tell that brother, keep your head up. You know what I mean? Real people understand what the real is, and we got your back, and we gonna continue to support you and the institution that you've built for Black people to come and disseminate their information. And it don't Absolutely. I don't care what kind of information it is that Black people disseminating. I want to provide a space where they can come and put that information out. And I'm pattering this platform after what Sarnetta already established. And so when I see these people on YouTube who we know made a name for themselves on Sarnetta or were entrenched in this institution that Sarnetta built, become bitter and sour because things didn't work out for them the way they have for others on this platform. And so they decide to start making content against him and disparaging his name and making up lies. It's a shame. And it goes to the deeper root of this Uncle Tom, or should I say Sambo mentality that a lot of us have adopted, where we want to attack our own. Speak to that, and then we're going to get into how you came to the mentality that you came to currently.
Well, that's a good topic. Shout out to Brother Sinetta, man. I think that, and I say this to people all the time, like we have a culture of basically crabs in a bucket in our community, and we have to learn how to eliminate that thought process. We got to learn how to give people their flowers while they're still alive. We're like one of the only communities where you gotta die in order for people to give you your props. You got to be able to give a person their props while they still alive. If they're moving, for a football analogy, if they're moving the sticks, moving the chains, we got to be able to give a person their props while they're still alive. We can't wait till a brother like Sinetta has passed away to be like, oh, that was my nigga. Oh, Sinetta was my boy. Sinetta was the truth. This brother has been putting it down in the community for a very long time. From standing on the corner of 125, dealing with Khalid Abdul Muhammad, doing his own thing, and taking it into the 21st century to where he digitized the revolutionary content. So come on, y'all. This ain't and I don't think a lot of y'all really understand that, man. Like that you can disagree, and I don't really understand why, because he's not a biased brother. He gives people the opportunity that even with information that he doesn't necessarily agree with, he gives them the opportunity to air their views. So the brother Sinetta is in my opinion, man, that he is truly a gem in our community, man. And don't wait till the brother pass before we start talking about how much we respect and love that brother. You know what I mean? And as far as my journey is concerned, like I said, I'm from Los Angeles. I've been to give you a backdrop. I come from revolutionary parents. I come from my parents were involved in the struggle. I was born in the early 70s. My father was my parents actually met in the military. My dad was a two-term Vietnam veteran, and my mom, she was doing clerical work in the army, and they met because they decided that they wanted to get out of the military because of the obvious racism that was going on at the time. They had things like, just to give you a brief of the history of the United States military during the Vietnam era, Black folks made up about 12% of the nation at that time, but made up about 25 to 30% of the enlisted people at the time, meaning the people that just went to the military. And they made up less than 2% of the officers. So that means the people that were calling shots was less than 2% Black in the United States military. So what happened was there was a lot of young brothers. These are young boys, 18, 19, 20 years old. Those cats that you see right now, those Vietnam vets that y'all walk past and look at them like they crazy, because some of them got addiction issues. Some of them have mental health issues. Those were young boys that were sent overseas to fight in a war, many not by choice, because there was a thing called a draft that was going on back then. The draft hasn't gone on since then. But these young men went over there and fought in a war and came back and had no respect in their own homeland. So this is the era that my parents come from. So when they came back to Los Angeles, they got involved in revolutionary activity. My dad was involved with some of the local Panthers. My mom was an affiliate as well, and I was able to be involved with at a young age. I don't know. I'm not cognizant of none of this stuff. I'm just a kid that's being with his parents. I don't know what the hell's going on. I don't know what this red, black, and green flag is. I don't know what these particular pieces of literature are, but I'm being exposed to it as a young age, to where it becomes part of my everyday life, to where I'm exposed to some of the literature of that time. I'm exposed to Leron Bennett Jr.'s work. I'm exposed to what's our brother Oh man, a brother that wrote The Golden Age of the Moor. I'm exposed to some of his work. However you feel about his work now, we're talking about the early '70s, early '80s. I'm exposed to these works then. I'm exposed to brothers like Renuko Rashidi, which is a young man that's sitting at the feet of Dr. Ben. You know what I mean? I don't really know this at the time. I'm not cognizant of what I'm exposed to. I'm just exposed to it. I'm also exposed to some of the more revolutionary activities. I'm exposed to at a young age. I'm exposed to a young brother. I didn't know who he was. All I saw was a clean man in a nice car, had a nice suit on, and he was like, "Hey man, when you grow up, young brother, you can be an attorney." Come to find out, that person that told me that as a young age, that was Johnny Cochran. I didn't know that
Oh,
then.
wow. Wow.
You know what I'm saying? That's Johnny Cochran that I'm speaking. So this is the environment that I was raised in. You know what I mean? I'm raised in this. So I got like a little bit. I don't have the Google scholarship like people or the I'm new to this. I was kind of like raised in it. Now me personally, I gravitated toward the street shit. That's just it is what it is. At some point,
Mhm.
again, where was I? Los Angeles, California, in the
Right.
in the in the in the beginning of the crack era, the beginning of the gang era, and that thing was a powerful era. So young men, that was a draw that drew a lot of us in. You know what I mean? And like many of us, I got drawn into participating in illegal activity and doing things that wasn't exactly beneficial to our community. I got involved in that as well. But
Right.
my grounding, once I came out of that fall, once I said, "Hey man, wait a minute. I was raised around strong black people that was trying to do the right thing. I got a good grounding. Let me get back to my
Yeah.
traditional self." And even the people that's in the book, even people that's in the book, I'm talking about the Christian folk. What do they say? Raise a child in the ways, and they will come back to. That's a very true statement, y'all. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But I ain't gonna
Like,
talk
like,
y'all
like,
ear
like
off
you
on that.
say, the prodigal son, as they talk about him,
Absolutely,
he came back to himself, and so you came
absolutely,
back to yourself.
absolutely, brother,
Real
absolutely.
quick, let me shout out a couple of people. I see Nerdy Brew in the building. Shout out to my brother Lavelle. I see my brother Nobody from Trust and Believe the Gospel. Shout out to you, brother. I don't like that comment you made, but shout out to my brother. Shout out to my brother Coach Brody in the building. We got a show coming up Thursday where we asking the question: is it natural for men to be with one woman? Is it natural for a man to be monogamous? Shout out to my
Oh,
brother Teddy Neferu in the building. Peace to my brother. But,
mm,
but hey, let me ask you this, bro, because
what's going on?
you mentioned when you came back to yourself. Shout out to the guy body, Marlon Simmons. I see you, bro. Uh, you mentioned how you came back to yourself. How did you begin to get active in the community on the positive front, and what were some of the things that you started doing?
I'm gonna keep it a buck with you, bro. I actually met a young lady, man, and this young lady, and I was at that point where it was I was on the edge. It was either get all the way back into my conscious self, or just go all out, balls to the wall, fuck it, however it's gonna be in these streets. And I met a young lady, man, and she was a platonic friend. Like I wasn't sexually involved with her or nothing, but her essence and her aura was extremely powerful, and she was able to speak to something in me. And this was a sister that was younger than me. This was a sister that was younger than me, and she would invite me to her spoken word poetries and some of the things that she was doing in the community, and some of the community activities that she was doing. And it gave me that sense that, like, okay, there is a need for this. There is another generation that needs to get some of this, and maybe I can help facilitate whatever I can do, whatever I can do, whatever I can contribute. I said to myself, okay, I need to try to contribute something to that. So if no matter how old you are, brothers and sisters, don't never be too ornery to say I can't learn from somebody, or somebody younger than me can't expose me to something, because you never know where wisdom or that light to somebody that can just turn that light bulb on to send you in another direction. And this is one of the things that because I got a little a thing that I say that 21 things that every black man should know by the time he's 21 years old. And one of those things that I say is there's a huge everybody deserves respect. People don't earn respect. Everyone deserves respect until they show a reason to no longer respect them, no matter how old they are or how young they are. As a group of people, as a diaspora, our default position should be respect to all of us. That should be our default until an individual shows that they are no longer worthy of that respect, as opposed to us running around saying, "Oh, you gotta earn my respect." That's a bad position. That's a faulty ideology. But I can speak on that a little bit later.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%, because just being a human being, until I tell people all the time, I'm trying to cut back on my bad language, but I always say I F with you until you give me a reason not to F with you.
Absolutely.
And that's my mentality. And so as you came back into consciousness and started moving in those circles, and I'm sure you saw a need, like you said, for people to start getting this knowledge and starting to get more involved. How did you proceed to do it? Because like I said, one of the things I do is I go to the corners and I just let young cats know, hey, I see you on this corner hustling, but I got a better option for you. Like you can go get your dealer's license, go to these auctions, buy a car, the same way you in this game on this corner. You can flip the car, go back to the dealership, re-up, go back to the auction, do it all over again, and you're making cash money. You're getting a 1099. It's the same process, but you ain't got to look over your shoulder for the police, look over your shoulder for the next hustler. You can do it the legal route. Go get you a cleaning company, get you a curb service. Just give them legal hustles where they can still make the type of money they done got accustomed to, but they ain't got to worry about getting locked up, and they ain't poisoning their community and taking lives from the community. Because somebody had to show me a better way, and I feel like I owe it. I owe it to my community to play that forward. What were some of the things that you saw that you felt like you needed to address with regard? And you were in LA, so I know you saw a lot.
Ooh, man, this is a tough town, bro. This is a tough town. Like we've got battling ideologies here, very, very strong. Like our gang culture here is really, really strong. And if you're gonna talk to the youth out here, you have to address the gang culture. You can't talk to them as if they're doing something that's hell of a wrong or demonize them. You got to kind of like talk to them in a manner to where, okay, I see what you're doing. I understand why you're doing it, but if you make this left turn just a little bit, or make this right turn tweak it just a little bit, and then you might see a different side. And similar to what you were doing out there in your neighborhood, I used to be a car guy. You know what I mean? I would go to the auctions, buy them and flip them, and I would turn the young dudes on. I'd be like, "Look, dog, hey, put a couple dollars together. I'm gonna take you down here. You know, buy the piece, put the piece on offer up, Craigslist, on the street corner, wherever the case may be. You know, hold on to your re-up and do it again." And
That's it.
all of them don't, all of
Yeah.
them don't take it to heart, but
Right.
there's a few that get it,
Yeah.
and also out here, we got an area out here called Lemert Park. That's off of Crenshaw. That's more like our cultural area for like some of the younger people. We got the Rastas down there. We got the more. It's like a collection of all of the conscious people. We got a drum circle. We got Moors down there. We got Israelites down there. We got Panthers down there. We got a little bit of everybody. And this is like every Sunday a group of individuals and we started a food giveaway. So we would go to some of the different places in the community and collect food and start giving away free food in the community to the people in the community. And at the same time politicking about how to do a better way, and that led into another situation that we got into where there was a sister that was assaulted in a Korean-owned liquor store. The guy had put his hands on her and whatnot, and we kind of like use that as to draw the line and say, okay, we got to do something about these individuals that are operating businesses in our community, but having the audacity to disrespect the people in the community. So what we did is we started staging boycotts in front of maybe about 7 or 8 liquor stores in the Los Angeles area, South Central in particular. So we boycotted these spots. It was telling these people that, like, look, if they don't respect your women, don't respect them by giving you their money, And we started mashing with that with the liquor store abatement program. And I started doing some research and come to find out, I'm not sure if you're familiar with her, but our current mayor, Karen Bass, a black woman that became the mayor of Los Angeles, she got into the city council. I had no idea at the time, but she got her rise to city council was through a liquor store abatement program. So basically, I just went online and copy and pasted much of what she did in her program, and we just put some extra details on it. So what we were eventually able to do, we got 2 liquor stores permanently shut down. We got 6 liquor stores to hire black people, for a total of maybe 10 to 12 black people were hired. We got all of the liquor stores in the area to at least provide something nutritious, i.e. fruit and vegetables, in these establishments. And it wasn't a huge, gigantic change, but it was something that was much needed in the community, where the community saw that young brothers were out here able to affect change in the community, and we didn't have to throw a cocktail through nobody's front door. We were able to sit down with city council members and have these conversations. Also, we got to a point where, because gentrification ran rampant out here, we were having conversations about the gentrification piece and how do people in our community combat being gentrified. We got to the point where we got several, and this is no exaggeration, we got several hundred homeless black people off the streets and housed over the past couple years. So
Wow.
these are some of the things. This is some of the boots on the ground stuff that I try to be involved in out here. This is stuff that it ain't sexy work, it ain't pretty work. It's like actually getting out there in the streets, talking to the people that's in your community, seeing where there's a need, talking to the people that's in quote unquote in power in your community, and seeing where you can facilitate some change, man.
That's it. That's what's up, bro. That's what's up. And that's real work. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
salute to you and the people you got helping you push them things forward.
Yes, sir.
Let me switch to a little bit of a lighter topic, but still a little bit of a funner topic. Were you ever a Christian, my brother?
Of course, I'm a black man in America. Shit. So I was a Christian. That's
No,
like,
no doubt, no doubt, no doubt. So with that being established, what happened to make you turn from the faith?
good question. I was me being Christian was by default. You know, as Black folks, we don't. Very few of us are born Muslim. Very few of us are born Buddhist. Very few of us are born Hebrew Israelite. The overwhelming majority of us are born in the Protestant faith via the Baptist Church. That's just the way it is for Black folks in North America. Anybody who says anything different is a damn lie. Now, to give you the background, uh, I come from a not a super churchy family, but definitely a Christian family. Like they're faith-based people. They're definitely faith-based. Grandfather was a deacon. Grandmother was on the board, and I'm talking about on both sides of my family, paternally and maternally. My father, as he got a little older, he started experimenting with being an evangelist, and you know, and so I was always exposed to it, and it just never, and it's just being honest, it never resonated with me. Christianity just never, the concept, to be perfectly honest, when I was told about a virgin birth, I was really young, but I understood that virgins can't have babies. Like, so it was like I couldn't wrap my brain around like you know what I mean? To give you a little backdrop, my mother was a librarian, and so education was primary in my household. Books. Remember, I was telling you about all the literature and stuff that what I was being raised on. So books and literature was always a part of my upbringing, and so you know, I was exposed to like anatomy, biology, or the sciences at a young age. My major in college was science, but that's a whole nother conversation. So when I'm a youngster and they're trying to tell me that a virgin gave birth, that didn't resonate with me, and I tried to make it make sense, and I just couldn't. And you know what's the natural progression for a Black man once he gravitate from Christianity? The next step is what? Islam. You know, you pick up that message to the Black man. You pick up that autobiography of Malcolm X, and you read that, and then you pick up the literature that's coming from the Nation of Islam. And you know, I dabble with that, and I shout out to the Nation of Islam. You know, them is to me, that's probably the strongest single institution that we have as Black people of over the past 100 years that's still standing. You know, the Nation of Islam, but that also didn't resonate with me when I found out that it was just a form of the Abrahamic faith. Because you know, all the while I'm understanding that, hey, this is they all believe in Abraham. This is the same stuff. So I got to the point where, and I was nervous, bro. You know, I'm a Black man. I'm nervous. I grew up on the, you know, don't speak against the religion. Just believe it, have faith, and all that. And I got to the point I was like, you know what? If this entity is real, this entity has to understand that I should question this. That I should have some things that I want to say. How does this happen? Why does this happen? Why is the Lakers prayers being answered to win the championship? but the girl that just got raped on the corner, her prayers ain't. You know what I mean? Like, why? That don't make it. Wasn't my logic and reasoning skills were being highly affected by the information that was being given to me. And I played with being an agnostic, and I just don't know. That was just out of fear, you know, like, hey, I don't know, so I can't say definitively about this, that, and the other. And then I eventually got to the point where I said, you know what?
real quick, bro, not to cut you off, but we got an honored guest in the building who we was talking about at the beginning of the show.
Hey, what's up?
The one and only godfather of consciousness, Sinetta.
Absolutely, man. What's going on, Si?
Unmute yourself.
Peace, family. Peace to you, man. Peace to you, DMG. Peace.
Yes, sir.
I'm just listening to y'all drop your spill. I'm hearing your story, brother.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What was you talking about, brother Kamani, earlier? Yeah, you hear me?
No. Yeah. What we was talking about was the disrespect that we see going around with regards to yourself and how it don't make sense to neither one of us.
Yeah,
like
it's just sick, man. It's like for everything that I have built, everything that I have done through the years, man. Before there was YouTube, you would expect the white man doing this type of stuff to your people.
Absolutely.
But it's not the white man, bro. It's people that look like us. You know, to me, these are the worst kind of people. You know why? Because what they do is feed lies to the people that they say they love. All because of what? Hate and jealousy. So they would go through they would go through the length of cloning your channel, copying your picture, writing on the picture, circling it, making it look like that was you saying that. Here's one example, if you allow me to show it, brother.
Go ahead.
Yeah, it's crazy because let me share it right here. Because Neil X, I was somebody sent me the picture and said, yo, why is Neil X putting this up? And so I seen it, and right away, there go right there. So she puts this up on her channel. And she swears she got something. She's happy because you see where it's circled at, and it says, I was a dead man walking in the streets of Harlem selling drugs and using them. I forgot and using them until I got exposed to the minister. Brother, that's not my post. Anybody can go and type up on Facebook and go to your post, brothers and sisters. And when you punch in your name, right under your name, you will see a date. There will be a date under there showing you that this right here was altered. What they did was took my picture and then begin to write on the picture. You see, the writing wouldn't be side by side like that. It will be under it. This is what I want to show you. And DMG, I'm glad you allowed me to do this right quick, because it shows the hypocrisy. It shows the length that these niggas would go through to try to slander you. Here's the original post. Bing. It's right there. That's my original post right there. You see the difference? Where is that on the side of it? Look at the date. I wish we could zoom in, but I don't know how to do it. But you can see the date of the picture. March 22, 2014. See? And then when we scroll down, you don't see no comment like that, talking no crazy talk like that, because they copied, took the picture, and posted it up and wrote what they wanted. You see what I'm saying, DMG? Y'all see it?
Yeah, I see it. I see it.
But just because of hate and jealousy, they will do anything to try to discredit me. This is what COINTELPRO does. I'm not saying they COINTELPRO. They just too dumb and stupid to do anything to bring their people some knowledge and real information. So they will go through anything to try to tear a brother down, but they got to use slander. They got to copy and paste and then feed it to their people as though it was real information. That right there, brother, is slanderous, and they don't give a damn about the people, come on. They don't give a damn about what they feed and what they lie to about their people, because they feed and their people lies. Talking about, oh, I seen Saul said he went to 4 hospitals and got diagnosed with AIDS. Never did that, brother. I said when I went there, they automatically looked at me before they diagnosed me. The video is up. The video is up on my channel.
Hey, we gonna open it up soon as me and the brother get through building, and you can come in. I just dropped that. Yeah, I just dropped that link for Sinetta so he can share this real quick. So come back soon as we open it up. But we gonna open it up as me and the brother get through building.
So here it is again. You could stroll down and see. You don't see none of that. There go my man Loaded Lux on my channel. You know, this is my Facebook right here. Go to Frank Gary and see it for yourself. Stroll down. It's deep in the archive. Here's the picture right here. You don't see this right here. Let me show you what they did. Now you know the date is always under your name on Facebook. But this is what they did. Show it again. Now look at the difference between this one. Look at how grimy that is. Look at how gritty that is. That's not my right. That's not what I did. See my name, Frank Gary, but then you don't see the dates under it, showing you what it is. And then it's right side by side the picture. These dudes and these women,
your real profile picture, yeah, it's crazy.
Right. They will go through anything to do that. And look, they cut Minister Louis Farrakhan's arm off. I got his arm in the picture. You know, I got his arm in my picture. But that's to show you the lengths that they will go through that try to make you look bad, brother. And Neil X over there showing and thinking she got something. All they do is slander. That's all they do. Whenever you getting something from a nigga that hate me, this came from a nigga that they call Uncle Suge. So when you see a nigga that pose to hate on you all day and every day and all they got is just throwing up this or none of that, you already know you got to be leery about what they giving you. That's all I wanted to say. And I want to say thank you, my brother DMG, for allowing me to just even show this, man. But I did it before. Bro. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it.
Yeah. No doubt, no doubt, man. It's crazy, man. And that stuff gotta be exposed. These dudes is weirdos, man. Mm-hmm. And all it is like I said, they can't be you. So it is if I can't beat them, I'm just gonna try to destroy everything he built. And that's all.
And DMG, all they gotta do, if they got any sense, say, oh, okay, that's Frankie Gary page. Let me go to Frankie Gary page and see it for myself. But they don't do that. They sit back and be like, oh, wow, look at what he did. That's what he's posted. Wow, this is crazy. You know? And then they will go through the lengths of cloning your name, bro. You've seen that many times. They do it on YouTube. They will take your post, take your name, and then put your picture up there as though it's you. Right in this stuff. They don't have nothing of substance to teach our people. Who give a damn if Sonetta had AIDS or something like that? So what? Who would care?
Right. But
why would you be happy if another man is, you know, it's just sick to me with these niggas, man.
Why would that was my thing. Why would that be funny? Why would that be something you want to celebrate? If it was true.
It's crazy. Right. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it's sick, man. It's sick. But
like,
that's
like for real. What have I done to these niggas? I don't know. What have I done? Nothing. What it is let me use his name to tear him down to make content. Let me get some content going on. That's all I can think about. Because these niggas don't know me personally. I don't even make videos of them. I don't know the last time I even mentioned Neil X's name. But when I respond to them, that's when they get happy. I'm not responding no more. Do you know? I just wanted to show this right here. I'm not responding to these people. Yeah. Man, that's it. That's it, brother.
Yeah, you got and no, like when I seen that interview, that podcast, and everybody check out Sonetta Cam Up podcast. It's a dope podcast. He had a great guest, and he had a powerful show with the brother Kevin Wesley yesterday. I know it's a lot of people that be hating on Kevin Wesley, but this show was powerful.
He do that, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And he had a good suggestion. Whenever we see somebody lying, now if you prove it's true, you prove it's true. But when you see somebody lying, just like y'all fervently be seeking the truth in other matters, seek the truth in these matters and find out if what they say is actually true.
Right.
And then decide what you're going to do instead of just believing it. It's funny to me that when it's Sonetta, we just roll with it. But when it's anybody else, oh, we're gonna wait to see what comes out and what happens. No, do that when it's Sarnetta. But when it's Sarnetta, we just want to pounce on it. Oh, he must have did it. He guilty. That's crazy to me. That's
and
crazy.
then they run around talking about, she said yesterday, well, he ain't proved nothing yet that he wasn't with Nikki. The burden of proof is on you niggas. You the one making the claim. I don't have to prove a damn thing. You got to prove it. You know what I'm saying, DMG? And you can't. And you can't prove it. You got to prove it. The burden of proof is on you. You made the statement. You made the slanderous statement. And this is why I don't believe these niggas when they talk about this child molestation stuff. Because this is something you do not play with, man. You don't play with this, bro.
Minister Inky, we know who Minister Inky hung with.
Yeah.
And yet he trying to take attention off himself.
Right.
That's what he doing. He don't want people to focus on how close he was to certain situations. So he gonna try to make up something about you so people focus on you because he know you everybody target. But everybody know you was insulated with this brother. Mm-hmm. So if anybody saw the stuff he was doing, it was you. So you just as guilty as he is for not exposing him. If you knew all this stuff was going on and you ain't say nothing, you just as guilty. Don't try to put it on another man. You was right there with him. You was his right-hand man preaching his gospel. So don't try to put it on somebody else. That's all that weirdo doing.
Right. Yeah, man. It's just crazy to me that people would play with the title of child molestation and rapist. Like, yo, I can't trust nobody and believe nobody once they do that, because that is a serious accusation. You don't put that on no man. No man is going to blame another man unless he got proof. All this old playing games with this stuff, y'all people that watch this stuff, I blame y'all too, man, because y'all allow it. Y'all think it's a joke in a game. It shows me that y'all don't give a damn about that girl who y'all was ratting and raving about Polite. It was like y'all was happy and hoping that Polite did this to this baby, did this to this girl. I was hoping he didn't do it to this girl. You see the difference? I was like, nah, this nigga couldn't have did that. Did he do this? I'm praying, nah, brother, please tell me you ain't do that, because she's going to be the one messed up in the long run. Her life is going to be forever messed up. She might grow up being a lesbian. She might grow up just hating men. You know how that goes on when stuff like that happen within our community. But these niggas was happy that he would do something like that to a young girl. That's what they was praying on. Yes, I know he did it. Yes, say he did it. Come on, say he did it. Looking at
one of the brothers. You know, one of the brothers, the Craigs that interviewed you, said the exact same thing. The exact same thing you just said. He said that.
Yeah.
And at first I was like, bro, what is you talking? And then after he kept, I was like, he said it wasn't about the little girl. It was about hating Polite. And I was like, because I felt like he was taking up for Polite. So I'm kind of looking at him sideways. But I understand what he's saying. He's not taking up for Polite. He's just saying the focus not where it should have been. When nobody really worried about what happened to the baby. They was just worried about making sure he got and he suffered for whatever other transgressions they had against him. They could care less about the girl. They just wanted him to pay for all the stuff they felt he did to them over the years.
Mm-hmm.
And that's crazy. When the focus should have been on the baby. But yeah, that's how
when
it
you
goes.
look at these people channels, right? The people that do this crazy stuff, you don't see no substance. You don't see them teaching nobody. Go look at my channel and look at the difference, y'all. See the difference. Go and look at the difference, man. I'm transparent. Y'all want to know anything? Go and look at the whole video and why I say what I say. Go look at my video. It's there. Neil X talking about, he took the video down. No, I didn't. You got to go seek and you shall find. The video is up. Don't forget, I got 2 channels. I really got 4 channels. You know, Sarnetta University, Black News 102, Sarnetta Studios, and then I got Cam Up Oh, I got like 6 channels. Damn.
All right, I'm about to say, yeah, more than that.
Yeah. But the video is up there. Seek and you shall find. I'm not gonna give it to you. You gotta go find it. It's up there. I don't gotta hide nothing. I ain't gotta hide a damn thing. Shit,
you still got your brother coming on?
No, we canceled it until tomorrow because he finished his class late. So I told him, nah, brother, it's gonna be late if I do this show with you.
Gotcha,
you know.
Gotcha.
But yeah, man, go ahead, brother. Bring on the other brother. It's cool. I hang out for a minute. I chill with you for a minute.
That's what's up. That's up. Mudiwa.
Hey, man, I'm just sitting up here soaking it in, man. So keep doing what you're doing, brother.
Yes, sir.
Make sure the haters go always hate.
Yeah.
And if need be, we got a thing out here called do a demo. All you got to do is find one of them cats, sue the shit out of them for defamation of character, and I guarantee you the rest of them will stop doing it.
That's right. I agree with you. I agree.
Just take one of them and sue the brakes off of them for defamation of character, and I guarantee you the rest of them will fall in line.
Yep. Take their channel right down.
Exactly.
Take their channel right down and block them from ever coming back on the YouTube. Because you're talking about molestation. You're talking about raping people.
Right. That's something
right down once you send it to YouTube and show them. Here's the law. Here's the court order. All of that. So I agree with you.
Yeah, those are accusations. Those are accusations that our generation, we don't take that shit lightly. You don't call a motherfucker a child molester, a rapist, or a snitch. Those are things you just don't go around the community doing. And it seems that a lot of people these days, they're real comfortable with using those terms, dealing with people, and there needs to be some consequences and repercussions. And that's just my 2 cents.
I agree with you, man. 100%, brother. I agree with you.
Yeah, and I see we had a couple people hit the link. I'm gonna open it up when we get through building with the brother. We will be opening it up. I just dropped the link for Sai to come on and share what he had to share. I am gonna open it back up after we get through building with the brother, so y'all can come back in. We will open it back up.
Peace to you, brother. I'm out, man. Go ahead and handle your show, brother. Thank you, man.
All right, Sai.
Keep doing what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, bro. Man. Yeah, man.
Yes, sir. The great. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Hey, we was talking about that at the beginning of the show, man. And I guess the brother came on and graced the platform. Always good to have him on. And I think we was talking about you walking away from Christianity and turning in another direction. I know the last thing I remember you saying before we brought sound was it didn't resonate with you. So when you say it didn't resonate with you, go start from there and then break down the transition away.
The short answer is a thing has to make sense to me. The way my brain operates, a thing has to make sense. I have to see the logic and reasoning in a thing in order for me to ride with the thing. And so I'm looking at Christianity as we're doing it in our community, and it's not making sense. I don't see the Black community necessarily benefiting as a whole from this paradigm. I see us being in this paradigm more than most other people, but I don't see us necessarily benefiting from this paradigm. I'm seeing just to keep it blunt, I'm saying the white evangelical Christian community, they're benefiting from this paradigm. I'm seeing the European Jew benefiting from this paradigm. I'm seeing all other manner of American people benefiting from this paradigm except for us. So I'm saying to myself, like, are we doing something wrong? Or like, my first thought process was, if this God is real, maybe we're praying to somebody else's God. That's why our prayers ain't being answered. Because this can't be our God. How did our God leave us abandoned like this? And that was my first thought process, And as I did more study and did more research, and I said, you know what, this is the God of a small group of people in the middle of the desert, in the middle of nowhere, and this was their thing, and other people just decided to adopt it. And it's not necessarily the God of my ancestors. And my ancestors had gods all over West Africa, East Africa, North Africa, South Africa, Central Africa. So if you're going to believe in a God narrative, to me, I would have a little more. I would rather you, if you're going to believe in some things that you can't really prove, I would rather those things be of African origin as opposed to being outside of Africa. And there's going to be the people that say Christianity is an African religion, and they know damn well that it's not. They know it's not. They know it's not. So we're not even gonna play that game. There's going to be people that say that the Middle East is just Northeast Africa. It's not. They know it's not. They're just playing games. We're not gonna play none of those games. We know that religion literally has very little or nothing to do with us organically. It was imposed on us later on, but organically, no, we can't play those games. And then I came to the point where, you know what? Do we really need a God complex to move? Do I really need to have a spiritual foundation in order for me to be a good human being in this world? And the answer is emphatically no. As long as I have empathy for my fellow human being, my morality is not judged on the fact of whether or not I'm going to heaven or hell. My morality is solely based on empathy. I don't want nobody to steal nothing from me. So guess what I'm not gonna do? I'm not gonna steal nothing from you. I don't want nobody to fuck my wife. So guess what I'm not gonna do? I'm not gonna fuck your wife. I don't want nobody to kill somebody I love. So guess what I'm not gonna do? Kill somebody that you love. See what I'm saying? It works when you just use the empathetic method. You don't have to have the morality of something weird, have the dying and going to Hades, and it's just for me, I don't need that. Some people need it, but just for me, I didn't need that. So that's how I came to the conclusion about atheism. And let me say this before I go any further. There's somebody listening right now that's saying atheism ain't African. There's no such thing as atheism in Africa. Nobody can find an atheistic tribe in Africa. You're looking at a word, not a philosophical concept. If Africans are the oldest people in the world, what makes you think that the philosophical thought of there not being a creator did not start with Africans? I'm going to say that again. If Africans are the oldest people in the world, what makes you think that the philosophical thought of there not being a creator did not begin with Africans? And I land the plane.
So I got a presentation I'm working on. I'm almost done with it. I say atheism is a religion. And so I'm interested to see what your response to that is, and I'm gonna tell you why I call it a religion. Go. What's your response?
Well, a religion has a certain set of things that you do. Religiously, you're doing something. Religiously, you're praying. Religiously, you're believing that your personal God and Savior can change your life. That don't exist within atheism. In atheism, you understand that if shit's gonna change, you got to get off your ass and change it. If shit's gonna be better, you got to get off your ass and make it better. There's no religion. The foundation or the strongest tenet of religion is faith, faith. Now, there is no faith in atheism. It's no like I have faith that no. It don't work like that. That's a faith is a religious concept. So atheism by default cannot be a religion.
I got you. So now this is why I say it's a religion. Now I'm not saying that you do it religiously. You may not practice it as a religion. You may just be an atheist, but there are atheists who are religious zealots for atheism. That's all they talk about. That's their main talking point. Because part of what you just described was a part of the philosophy of existentialism. Like if you're going to do something independent of whatever God you believe in or don't believe in, you as a black person, excluding your government, excluding any of your religious beliefs and all of that stuff, whatever has to be done here on this earth, you have to get that done. Period. All that other stuff, you can bring that to the table, but you have to execute whatever you have to do. Whatever change you got to make, you have to make that change. So I'm with existentialism all day, particularly black existentialism or Africana critical theory. But the thing about atheism is one of the definitions. Here's 3 definitions. It says a belief in or worship of a superhuman power or powers, especially a god or gods. The second definition is a particular system of faith and worship. Here's the third definition, and this is where I say atheism comes in. A pursuit or interest in which someone ascribes supreme importance. The example they give is consumerism is the new religion. And so to me, the way I hear people purport atheism in contrast to religion, that to me indicates it as a religion. When you wake up and the first thing you do is post about your atheism in contrast to my religion or whoever's religion, you are doing it religiously at that point, because it ain't no need for you to compare it to another religion as an alternative if it's not being done religiously. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I say it's a religion.
Okay, I
God body. I hold on. Let me bring my man up.
All right.
God body. We gonna open it up. We're gonna open it up in a little bit. So come back on and hit the panel when we open it up. But it's good to see you, brother. It's good to see you.
Always,
peace,
money.
Fam,
always, peace. I'll be back.
All right, bro.
Yeah.
All right.
To kind of like not answer your question, but give an explanation for the things that you're seeing. Have you ever seen a young gang member, like this, a new gang member? They're new, or like new.
Rasta man, I agree. I try to have sex religiously. So I agree with you. Almost anything can be religious. But before I lost 60 pounds, I was eating and drinking Mountain Dew religiously. So I'm with you on that.
But when there's the affirmation of nothing can't be done religiously. There's nothing. Like, I don't believe in Bigfoot, so I don't not believe in Bigfoot religiously. I just don't believe in Bigfoot. You know what I'm saying? It's like if there is a nothing, the fact that I am an adherent to the nothingness of the thing doesn't mean I'm religious about the nothingness of the thing. What you're experiencing is like the example I gave you is like the young gangbanger, or the young gay person that's adamant about letting everybody know they're a gangbanger, or adamant about letting everybody know they gay. They just have to let the world know. They got to beat their chest. Yeah, that's the new that's the young, that's the person that's new in their atheism. They're new in it. So they're trying to stand on a mountaintop and let everybody know this is the new me. Woo wah 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 wham. But once you grow in the comfortability of the nothingness, like I'm your brother regardless. If you invited me to a church function, I might show up. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have to be like, oh no, I'm not one of them. I'm not with none of
Yeah.
that shit. I'm like,
Right.
I'm comfortable in my atheism where I don't have to be dogmatic or like you say, religious about it, because I've been such for such a long time that it doesn't. I don't need to preach it on the mountaintop. But that's the
Yeah.
new people. Those are the new guys.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, bro. As of March 28th of this year, I'm a Christian again. And so, but you notice when I interview people, I'm not, my belief is a non-factor. I'm not here to debate. I'm not here to debate. I'm here to host and get your ideology and figure out if it's a conversation or a dialogue that I can put you in that'll be beneficial to the people. I'm not here to argue with you. One thing that irritates me is when I see somebody who's supposed to be hosting, or I ask somebody to host, and instead of hosting, they debating. No, you interviewing.
Right.
Like, you're not here to debate this individual. You're here to interview this individual.
Right.
If I needed you to challenge them, I would have stayed and moderated.
Right. Absolutely.
So my religious outlook or spiritual outlook is irrelevant. That's why I shout every group I can think of that my people involved with out at the beginning of the show to show them, hey, you welcome to come here and speak your speech. But yeah, I just wanted to get your outlook on that. So as it pertains to having dialogues, we know you are interested in participating in some of the verses my brothers, the Craigs, got going on over on the whole effing show and over on Battle of the Ideologies. That's another YouTube channel we got, y'all. Battle of the Ideologies. We're gonna start putting the link in the chat so y'all can start subscribing to that. That's where these conversations gonna start taking place. Battle of the Ideologies, Paradigm Shift, TV 314, Battle of the Ideologies, and the whole effing show. Y'all be looking out for that because we're trying to put conversations together so people can disseminate their information in a respectful way, and the people will decide which one it is they think is worth looking into. Cream always rise to the top. So if your information is what you think it is, the people gonna see that. Simple as that. So with that being said, is it anybody in particular that you've seen on the channel, or that's just on some other channel or on other channels that you wouldn't mind having a dialogue with?
Well, I'm deeply interested in speaking with some of the, particularly the Black Christian community. In general, the Black Christian community, in particular, I like the white evangelical Christian community. I really want to have a conversation with some of those people and pick their brain as to how they come to the conclusions that they come to. Now, in the context of the Black community, there's a few individuals that seem to be how can I say it, in need of a correction as far as their position is concerned, because I noticed that a few people in the Black Christian community, a lot of them, they're excellent at monologue. They're excellent at monologue. They're horrible at dialogue, and they're even worse at debate. So as long as they can just run their mouth about their position, that shit sound good. Ooh, it sound good. They get to chopping it up, and they get to quoting scriptures, and they get to telling us about all these things in the most intellectual manner and using 5-syllable words, and it sound good. But as soon as you get to the meat and potatoes of it and say, how do we have this as a dialogue? Uh-oh, they tighten up. Then you say, okay, so how do we move from this dialogue to a debate format, friendly? They get even more tight. So there's a few people. I'm not gonna say
You you broke up, bro. You still there? Look like we might have lost the brother. I see you, Leandre. You stupid for that too. You stupid for that. Y'all keep making me laugh, man. And for those who know, y'all know why it hurt to laugh. But yeah, man. Hopefully we can get the brother back. I don't know what happened. Look like he still look like he there, but
what happened.
okay. We couldn't hear nothing, bro. Yeah, you
Okay,
back
okay.
now. You back.
All right. Yeah, my bad. And yeah, like I was saying, that there's a few individuals that I'd love to have start off with a dialogue, find out where they're coming from, and it doesn't even have to be a debate because for the most part, it's kind of hard for a person that's a believer to have a debate with a non-believer because there's 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 nothing about, unless we're talking about the historicity of the text, there's nothing for us to really talk about. You're not going to convince me that a woman had a baby without a penis. You're never going to convince me of that. You're never going to convince me that Moses split the Red Sea. You're never going to convince me of that. You're never going to convince me that some dude got killed, put on a stick, and 3 days later he rose up to heaven. You'll never convince, you will never, that's outside of logic. So that's not even a conversation that like I can't even I can't even have that conversation because there's not. Now if we talk about the historicity, if we say, okay, what's the historicity of the person we know as Jesus? Because unlike a lot of atheists, I believe in the mortality of the person that we call Jesus. I think that Jesus was a
So
real person.
you believe in the historical Jesus.
Yes, absolutely.
It's just not the God
The
man
divine
Jesus.
Jesus. Correct.
I got I got you.
Correct.
I got you.
Yeah,
I got you. Can you see?
I have absolutely no problem with some guy that was running around that people really really liked during first century CE. I have no problem with that. I have no problem with there was some guy that the Romans didn't like that got thrown to the hounds by his big homies and killed. I have no problem with that at all. The mortality of the person is, to me, I am a adamant supporter of that. I'm not one of them atheists that say Jesus never existed. That's all fake. No, that's not me. Now, when you start talking about the divinity, when you start talking about, the magic tricks and all of that, that's a different story. I don't want to have that conversation. When you start talking about when you start having a conversation about were there a group of people that were identified as Hebrew Israelites, I have no problem. I have no problem conceding to that. Yes, there were. When you start talking about the Noah's Ark and these people were born from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, just a handful of people and a few women, we have a problem with that. So we can have a conversation as long as it's within the context of what's in the realm of biology, physics, history, science, geography. When we start talking about the magic tricks involved, I kind of like that. We can't have that conversation because the believer doesn't have a ground to stand on. They have to default to saying, "In my faith, this is what I believe," and I can't argue with you saying it's your faith, and they can't argue with me saying your faith has no evidence to support it.
Got you. Can you see the screen?
What does it say? No, I can't read it. What does it say?
Okay, so we got this. I got this Indian guy who comes on the channel. His name is Leandre. I call him the Slim Reaper. He's a native Indian. He's not really black. He's like a legit abo. But anyway, first people, whatever the proper term is. Me and him argue all the time about. He talks about how my people was enslaved, and I talk about how his people got their land took. But anyway, he's a character.
Right.
And I'm gonna go ahead and drop a link in the chat too, real quick.
Yeah, that's interesting. A Native American Christian, okay.
but he says I'm happy to link him with a proto-evangelical Christian who is white. I'm guaranteeing that it will be a slaughter. Say when. So if you're interested, we might be able to get that evangelical on.
I would love to have a conversation with an evangelical Christian. Love to.
Okay.
Love to. Because in all honesty, the evangelical Christian, if they're not a Christian that's trying to be Christian by faith, if they say, hey, I'm a Christian because this is what I believe in by faith, if they try to go out of anything else outside of that, they're gonna get glazed, because none of the historicity of Christianity is in favor of Europeans at all. Europeans are the ones that corrupted the Christianity, but that's a whole nother conversation.
True that. Hey, God Body, you still there, bro? All right, God Body might be on mute. Let me move to my sister Mika. She was up next. Mika,
what's up? What's good? I
gotta get in. Hello, everybody. How y'all
doing? My bad, Mika.
Wait, because I don't want Leandre to go in yet, because I already know.
No. Leandre, not there. I was going back to my brother Marlon because he couldn't hear me at first.
Let me say what I gotta say before Leandre go. Okay. All right.
Go ahead. You next, Mika. You next. Go ahead, God Body.
All right, peace, fam. What's good, man?
You got it, man. Good to see you on the channel, man. We got to get you on for a video, bro.
I'm always down with you, DMG. Come on, man.
No doubt. We came together.
You in the comments. Yeah, we came together, man. Me and you ain't gonna never split up, bro. We always brothers, man. We always gonna be that. No doubt. But I want to touch on what my man was saying about how God impregnated Mary, without penetrating her vagina. Well, I mean, to me, that was just showing the power of God. You feel me? And it scared me when I heard about it as a kid, too, because I'm like, damn, you mean God could come in here and get my girl pregnant and he ain't got to even penetrate her with his penis? Man, I'm scared. I don't want him around my old lady, man, you know? But that was I'm dead ass. But that was symbolic of his power, basically. You know what I mean? That's all that was to me.
You don't think it was literal?
You know,
you don't think it was literal?
Literal, I couldn't take it literally, because everything when they speak about God in the church, automatically I took everything on a spiritual, mental side. You know what I'm saying? It was done in a way that man can't fathom or can't do. That's, to me, that's superficial to your power. So that makes him top dog, bro. So that puts the fear in a man when you hear stuff like that.
Real quick, God Body and everybody else, mute. I got a guest, and he got a limited amount of time, so I want to get to him. Leandre,
sure.
Can you introduce the brother for me?
Yes.
Gotcha.
Let's do this. Hele di daskale. Osekis.
Kalos Posekis.
Kalos. So this is the brother here. This is my friend Nicholas. And so I asked Nicholas to join here. Nicholas is what I would classify as a proto-evangelical. Nick is a logic tutor. Was a logic tutor actually for one of the logic courses that I took. Nick is the only person now, as I told you all before, in my philosophy coursework, there was one person who I had to compete with, and this dude standing right here. So he made it so we tied for number one in that program for the year, and this is Nick Portwood, philosopher, one of the gentlemen who presented at the same time.
Real quick, yes, if I can interrupt you, man. I do not appreciate you bringing a man on this channel with such a spectacular beard when mine is not on that level, brother.
There we go.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that, bro. I appreciate that. Now, y'all go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. Now, here's the thing. So, I just want to introduce the brother here really quickly because Brother Mudiwa says pretty interesting stuff, and this is something that comes up a lot. And I've talked to Nick about this extensively, over the last long time talking about this thing. So here's what's happened. So Nick is a philosopher extraordinaire. He has a wonderful presentation I love him to give. I'd love to get Nick on here talk about logic. Again, Nick was a logic tutor for one of the logic course stuff that I took. And as a philosopher extraordinaire, Nick is also a Christian. And Nick, I classify you as a proto-evangelical, coming from the sort of Quaker background. Hopefully that's okay. That's my understanding. Proto-evangelical. Now, so Nick, I wanted so Brother Mudiwa, the brother who, I don't know if your thing is in the same order mine, the brother with the mostly black background up there, he just had a very interesting thing to say, and I'm hoping he can repeat it here, because he was just talking about logic and reasoning, how his logic and reasoning skills, and how logic says, you can't have something like, a miraculous conception, that sort of thing like that. So, Brother Mudiwa, could you please restate what you were saying about logic and reasoning skills to the logic tutor here?
Hey, how you doing, man? What was your name again? I'm sorry.
My name is Nick.
Nick, what's up, Nick? My name is Mugabe, man. Like His Excellency Robert Mugabe.
Nice to meet you all.
Yeah, nice to meet you as well, bro. Nice to meet you as well. Now, my comment was as such. I said it's extremely difficult to reconcile using logic and reasoning in immaculate conception, because an immaculate conception defies everything we know about biology. So, with logic and reasoning, how do you explain, in the short answer, you don't have to give me the long answer, without simply reducing it to faith, how do you explain a virgin birth?
Okay, so before we get there,
Mudiwa, if I can, yeah. I just wanted to say, I think the immaculate conception
and the virgin birth
they're not part and parcel. Yeah, I think you're just talking about the virgin birth.
Virgin birth, my bad.
Okay. So
artificial insemination.
Okay, so before we do that, Brother Mugabe, your skill set in logic, are you trained in logic?
I'm about as trained as most people.
Right. So not at all. Okay. So most people are not trained at all in logic.
Do me a favor, Shiandre. Put your pom-poms down and let Nick answer the question.
Okay, so in which case, so first of all, your mama. But second,
Let's keep a good conversation going, guys. Come on.
Hold on.
He gonna state my name correctly.
Everybody chill. Everybody chill.
This is why I want to go first.
That's an old man. Tell him respect my name. I ain't saying nothing.
Listen. Let's get back to the
Nick,
conversation.
Brother Nick.
So Nick, now that we've established this for the audience publicly, please go ahead and touch on the subject. Thank you.
Goodness.
Let's not let it devolve, and we still got other people on the panel. So Nick, I think the brother was trying to ask logically and reasonably, how do you reconcile a virgin birth with knowing what we know about virginity and conception and things of that nature? How do you reconcile that with reality?
Well, if we're talking strictly logically, anything is logically possible as long as it doesn't entail a contradiction. And there's nothing in biology that says that it is logically impossible for something like a virgin birth or spontaneous life to arise. That's a entirely different question. I think what he's trying to get at is whether or not a virgin birth is metaphysically possible, and I think that there is. All you have to show is that the concept is first not a contradiction, but also that it is a way that the world could conceivably be arranged. And insofar as there's no intrinsic contradictions in the idea of there being a virgin birth, and given that this could be a way that reality could be arranged, the idea is at least conceivable. That to me that makes it far more plausible than not. Than at least it's possible. Whether it actually does happen is an entirely separate question entirely. But if we're asking, like, is it logically possible? Yes, it is, because there's no inherent contradiction in the idea of a virgin birth. You would have to show that birth and virginity are logically incompatible, and that's clearly not the case.
So brother Nick, let me ask you a question. Law of excluded middle. Law of excluded middle. Law of non-contradiction. Law of identity.
Hold on, real quick. Leandre, what? Real quick, Mudiwa, let me see what Leandre had to ask, and then we're gonna send it back to you because I want to make sure it's not we keep it flowing and keep everybody. You the doctor of decorum, so let's try to keep everything straight. Leandre, go ahead.
Yes. So I was going to say, law of non-contradiction, law of identity, law of excluded middle. Is there something that's violated here? Like because when we talk about something being a logical impossibility, or being possible in some possible world, right? What do we mean? What do we mean by that? What do we mean when we say that? Because this seems to be the thing. And let me just say, Nick. So a lot of times when I'm on here on the channel, everyone brings up the subject of logic. It's constant. Next, I'm going to have a Professor Carson on here too. He knows he's coming up here too. But so he's going to be up here very soon. But when they say things like this, what comes to your mind as someone who tutored logic? What comes to your mind when someone says something violates the law of logic?
And then they doesn't get to answer it. He doesn't get to ask
Can you tell the decorum dude to shut up?
The question not answered.
Can you tell the decorum dude to shut up?
Real quick, because this the brother show. So I want to make sure we still giving a back and forth so the brother can interact. But I do want him to answer the question because
DMG, you gotta stop trying to be so nice. The brother's not respecting decorum. I was in the middle of saying something, he jumping in. You gotta stop being nice. Tell the brother just to mute up.
I got you. I want Mudiwa to be able to interact because again,
I know, but you already said, listen, I'm trying to get something from Mr. Nick here, and he came in interrupting again. But you always trying to be too nice.
Mudiwa, we gonna turn it over.
I'm gonna time this because I thought I was gonna go on before Leandre.
Nick, can you explain?
If you stop asking Nick leading questions and let him
you see now DMG, you see that?
Okay, look. We're gonna have to wrap this up. Mudiwa, can Nick answer this question so y'all can finish y'all dialogue and we can get to the other panelists? That is complete. I'm leaving it in your hand.
DMG, Nick can answer this question with one caveat. After Nick answers the question, Sheandre needs to be removed from the panel.
Now, DMG, you gonna continue letting him be disrespectful?
Now, hold on. Now, Leandre, you said the man, mama. He calling you.
He called me Sheandre. Now what? Hang on. Reactionary. The brother called me Sheandre several times.
Y'all got y'all little.
We ain't got nothing. He called me Sheandre. What I'm asking is he said that several times. So we don't. So we need to talk about the first thing that happened. So we need to talk about the causes of things. He called me Sheandre several times. And he's going to address the brother about his old fat disrespect.
I understand. What I need y'all to do. I'm not going to ask y'all to apologize to each other.
I ain't apologize for nothing.
Exactly. So can y'all finish the engagement so they can have a conversation? What is it?
Just say my name.
Finish. Let Nick finish.
Mudiwa, let him get it out, and then y'all can finish engaging so we can get to the rest of the panelists. But we got to move on with the show. You and Leandre can do y'all little heated thing another time. But for now, I'm asking y'all to have decorum.
Absolutely.
Well,
And I
show
want to hear from the
show as much respect for one another as y'all possibly can. That's all.
Brother, I'm
So
putting a timer on. Is that okay? I'm putting 2 minutes. Is that okay?
no,
Brother DMG?
we good, Mickey. We finna wrap it up.
Yeah.
Yo, hey, yo, DMG, I'm getting ready to bounce, man. I really want to have a conversation with Mudiwa and Leandre, but I got to bounce, man. So I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Hey,
All right, peace,
all
bro.
right, brother Chris. Good seeing you, good brother.
Leandre, finish up with.
Well, all I'm saying, so brother Nick, so hopefully you remember the question, but could you sort of explain what that means and sort of because and I know you sort of touched on a little bit about the sort of category errors and things like that here. Could you touch on that where people are talking about things that they think are could you speak more to that? I know you like to remember. You have a memory, really good memory.
Well, if we're just talking about just plain English, the English that most people speak just in their lives, logic usually just means the way a person thinks. It's not usually referring to the discipline called logic that I tutor and that is taught in college. In like the university setting or the academic setting, like as a discipline, logic is a specific way of thinking that follows the laws of logic, the law of identity, the law of non-contradiction, the law of excluded middle, and the 18 rules of inference. It's pretty simple. Children can learn logic. Adults can learn logic. There's no barrier for entry. All you have to do is have a brain. So if people are saying, well, this doesn't make any sense, like, or by that logic you mean this, that's just shorthand for saying, oh, this is where these ideas will lead you if you just follow them. So when people are talking about logic and reason, when they're talking to me, I'm not holding them to an academic definition because I'm probably not using it that way. It's best to just speak to people where they are and not hit them with dictionaries because that's not very helpful.
Brother Nick, last question. What if they get on there saying that they've studied logic? What if they get on there talking about logical fallacies and things like that, and they have no earthly idea what they're talking about? What would you say to those people?
I don't know.
What would you say if someone said, when you ask someone about a fallacy, and they said that it was the fallacy of the categorical syllogism? What would you say to that?
Well, a categorical syllogism is one of the rules of inference. It's not a fallacy.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. I yield.
All right, now, thank you,
All right,
Nick.
brother Nick, would you be willing to come back and have a conversation or an interview about logic and how it's taught, what these different fallacies are and what they mean and how they can be used and things of that nature?
Oh, I'd love to. That's what I got paid to do.
If it's leaving, I'd like to ask a question before you leave.
Yeah, go.
Yeah. We're. I see if we can set something up with Leandre. See if we can get each other contact for. Mudiwa.
Nick, I need you to get a whiteboard, and I need you to talk about the Theotokos. I need you to show those logical proofs when you come back. So remember we did that in the class at the time.
I just got rid of my whiteboard. Darn it.
Yes. So yeah, let's put something together. Nick, thank you.
Nick,
are y'all in LA? Because I got a chalkboard.
Right. Now,
Mudiwa, did you have a question for Nick before you leave?
I do. My original question that I posed 15 minutes ago, before it was sidebarred and hijacked. When we speak of a virgin birth, we know that within the Homo sapiens species, it is impossible. We know that it does not happen. So, that being said, if you are saying that a virgin had a child without the involvement of semen or a penis, you are going outside of the logic of simple biology as we know it. Would you agree or no?
If you're talking about the logic of biology in terms of biology being a subsection of science and science using inductive reasoning, then I think all you could say is that a virgin birth is not plausible. You couldn't say that it's impossible. science is not equipped to say whether something is possible or impossible. All it can do is report on what it does observe. And here's a great example from the medieval period. David Hume, the historian and scientist David Hume, he claimed that a miracle is anything that falls outside of human experience. And he got a lot of flack for that because, as his peers pointed out to him, for most of human history, ice was outside of human existence because we all evolved out of the African continent. So we're all coming out of Africa. There's not a lot of ice in Africa, and especially where early hominids were growing up and developing, there was no ice, and so ice was outside of their experience. So according to everything that they knew about meteorology, about cosmology, about geology, ice was impossible based on that that line of reasoning. However, we know that ice is possible. Like, I've got some in my fridge right now. So if we're talking about possibility and impossibility, those are categories that you cannot ascribe to science, because science can only tell you what it observes. They cannot tell you something's impossible.
But we know without a shadow of a doubt that it gets below freezing in parts of Africa, snows, and there's ice all over parts of Africa. So to make
Like
that assertion, brother Nick, is a fallacy in and of itself. Now, to get back to the question that I asked, I didn't ask you about possibility. My question was probability. Is it probable? Is it probable, with what we know about biology, using reasoning and logic, is it probable that a virgin can give birth to a child without the help of science?
No, it's not probable, and that's why the virgin birth is considered a miracle.
Thank you, Nick. So that means if you believe in the virgin birth, you're taking it on what? It starts with an F, Nick.
Actually, you're taking on Bayesian analysis.
You're taking it on faith.
Well, maybe, but you could also pull the anti-Humean route and just say that on balance, virgin births don't happen, and that's why it's such a big deal that the virgin birth did happen.
I apologize, Nick. I'm a college dropout. I don't know. I didn't study logic and reasoning at the level that you and Sheandre did. So maybe I don't understand these things the way you
man.
So you got
call that man by his name, bro.
I need you to stop, Leandre. You need to spank him, sir.
You gotta forgive me for my you gotta forgive me for my simpleton understanding of things. From my understanding, that in order for a Homo sapien child to be born without modern science, there has to be semen, eggs, penetration, uterus, the whole nine. I could be wrong. I don't think so. Our species has been here 300,000 years.
Wait a minute.
I like you to respond, Nick, and then we got to get to the other panelists. But I would love to have you back if you open to it, and I'll see if Leandre can connect us just for me and you to have a one-on-one interview.
Right. Would love to see that. I would love to see that. And Leandre,
somebody got a lot of Spanish. I don't know who it is.
I'm sorry, Leandre. Do not try to debate right now.
You're playing with the damn kids, man.
If it's okay, I have a couple.
Everybody mute. I want Nick to respond to what Mudiwa said so we can move on to Mika and the other panelists.
Well, first, like I said, you don't need a college education to study logic. You can teach logic to children. In fact, children have a intuitive grasp of logical principles. So I don't think that don't sell yourself short just because you're a college dropout. Like Jimi Hendrix never went to school, and he was one of the greatest guitar players to ever live. So, but as far as the virgin birth goes, like, obviously, virgin births don't just happen all the time. That's why if we do have an instance of a virgin birth, that would be something significant. That's one reason why when people say that it's not possible for people to rise from the dead, I say, yeah, I know. That's why it's a big deal that Jesus rose from the dead. Because broadly, logically, all these, both the virgin birth and the resurrection are completely logically possible. And possibility is an entirely different question of probability. Now, obviously, again, virgin births are not, these don't happen all the time, and they're extraordinarily rare. And as far as I'm aware, I mean, because I haven't counted, virgin birth has only happened like once, and it was in the case of Mary. Um, so yeah, these things don't normally happen. So a biologist would say, no, you need for sexually dimorphic creatures like human beings. Yeah, you do need two people in order to reproduce. Which is why I would say that, well, therefore we can conclude that the virgin birth of Jesus Christ is something very significant and worth investigating, because that kind of thing just doesn't happen.
Hey, brother Nick, I definitely appreciate you. I hope we can get a one-on-one interview and get some logic instructions, because I do hear logic terms being thrown around. I'm not studied in it enough to know whether anybody is doing it correctly or incorrectly. Leandre always try to let me know if it is. So yeah, if
there's less than 20 rules. They're really easy to learn.
Okay, I'm definitely looking forward to building with you on that if we can get that together.
I don't know, Nick. You're assuming quite a bit.
Can I ask Nick a couple questions real quick? Fire,
are you trying to say, Leandre? Are you trying to say that I have an inability to learn? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yes. So part of the thing that I would tell Nick, and Nick has read Dostoevsky, so he knows good and well that Nick, you have not properly factored in for human stupidity. And so
Leandre, I don't. Leandre, I'm not going to assume just from one interaction whether or not a person is smart or stupid. And forgive me, Leandre, I'd rather come to that conclusion on my own.
Thank you. Yeah, see, he's not biased like you, Leandre.
I mean, I think we're all biased. It's just what are we biased towards?
Yeah, there you go. There you go. He's not biased towards me like you are, Leandre. Mika Wash, you've been waiting patiently, my sister.
Man, I didn't want
Who do you have a question?
Because he was gonna go in, and I didn't want him to go in yet.
Well, the brother Nick, from what I understood, unless DeAndre lied to me, only had a limited amount of time. So
I appreciate Nick. I really would like to see you come back on, and so I could look into the mind of Nick. You know, I really appreciate what you said, but I have some questions for Madua and Nick. Thank you for showing up and showing out.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Okay, Madua, you believe in science, right? Is he gone? Is Madua gone?
Yeah, I'm still here.
You believe in science? You
No,
believe in science, right?
I don't believe in anything.
Okay. You think science is a fact?
No, I don't think science is a fact. I think science is a body of knowledge that's ever changing. It can be,
Okay.
it could be, the thing that we believe today
Mm.
that can be dramatically altered tomorrow. But
So you don't?
until it's dramatically altered, we're standing on what the global scientific consensus is, barring new evidences.
Okay. So do you know about how the female bone marrow can produce sperm?
Yes, I do know that the female bone marrow can produce sperm, but unless you're breaking your rib off and using it as a dildo, you're not going to ever impregnate yourself.
Okay. So you say you don't believe in anything. So how do you feel about the theory of evolution?
I think that until there's a model that trumps the evidence that we have for the evolutionary narrative, everything else, especially creationism, needs to take a back seat.
Okay. How do you feel about DNA?
Again, until there is new science that makes DNA old science,
Mhm.
everything else needs to take a back seat.
So can DNA prove that a person is the mother of a child and a person is the father of a child?
In most cases, yes.
So with DNA, do you agree that there has to be a subject to test another subject to have a direct relation?
Yes.
Okay. Now, okay, so another question is, have you ever heard of artificial insemination?
Yes, I have. And that's the reason why I said, barring scientific intervention, a virgin giving birth
Mm.
is completely outside of the, the things we know in biology today.
Have you taken biology
I was a chemistry major in college, sis.
in college?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, so you saw, so was you able to look, what was
No,
your
no, ma'am. No, ma'am. I did
so you
not.
took stoichiometry, you did the
Ma'am,
stoichiometry.
what I'm saying, sis, is
Mm,
that if you think that a human being
mm,
can be born
mm,
of a woman
mm,
without scientific intervention,
mm.
you are violating everything we know about biology. And if that's
So
what
you don't think that the Bible has science in it? That's what you're saying.
I think, that the Bible should not ever be looked at as a science book. I think that if you're trying to
Oh.
extrapolate science from the Bible,
Mm.
you are missing the whole point of the biblical narrative, sis.
Okay, so I took science. I was going to college for my BSN, my bachelor's in nursing degree. However, I did change my major to business. And I do know that all the science courses that I took, the precursor of all of those groundbreaking scientists, they were trying to prove the Bible wrong, and they proved it right each time. So
Actually, it's the other way around, sis.
I could,
Most
I'm
scientists,
not going to debate you on
yeah,
that.
it's not a debate.
That's just a statement
Actually,
that I made,
okay,
but later on I will bring the receipts on that. Okay,
okay.
but so anyway, do you believe? Oh no, you don't believe nothing. Okay, so there is a scientific statement that says that energy cannot be created or destroyed. Do you?
Thermodynamics, yes, ma'am.
So you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so if energy cannot be created or destroyed, wouldn't you say that's God?
No, I wouldn't,
Mm.
ma'am. I would say that that's physics.
Okay. So,
But guess
well,
what?
Mm.
Guess what? If you want physics to be God, I don't have a problem to be with that. If you
right,
want,
energy. This God is an energy. He cannot be created, nor can he be destroyed.
if you want God to be physics,
He's
if you
the
want God to
alpha.
be
He's
energy,
the alpha and the omega.
okay, I don't have a
Okay.
problem with you saying that. I don't have a.
Okay.
But when you
I'm
when you
almost
start
done.
right, when you make statements about
Mm,
a Homo sapien woman
mm.
giving birth to a Homo sapien child.
I'm past that part because
Okay.
I have to move on so the other panelists can come on.
All
I,
right.
I,
Thanks,
I
sis.
addressed that already.
All right.
Okay. All right. So I have to just get this out because I believe, okay, because DNA is a coding, right? And it's an intelligent design, right? And so when we die, the body remains. So my question to you is, what happens to the operating system that no longer operates the body?
Who was that
So,
for? That wasn't for me, was it?
That's for you. I
mhm.
said
I don't
DNA
believe. I don't
is an
believe that. I
intelligent
don't.
design,
Okay,
and
listen
when
to
we
me. Listen,
die,
listen.
when we
Okay, I
die,
heard you.
the
Hold,
I
body
heard.
remains. Oh, okay.
Okay, I
I
heard you.
couldn't
Uh,
understand what was being said because both of y'all was talking. So what was the
I'm
Okay,
sorry.
question?
say it
Okay.
again, sis.
So
I
DNA
got it.
has been scientifically proven to be an intelligent design. So when we die, the body remains. What happens to the operating system that is no longer
Energy.
in the body?
Mm.
Okay, now
I
you
said that
made
so many times.
Huh?
you made a couple horrible statements in that comment, sis. Intelligent design has never been scientifically proven. Intelligent design is a complete farce. The Supreme Court even said so, to the point to where that's the reason why intelligent design is not taught in school alongside evolution. Intelligent design is nothing more than creationism, in a cheap costume. So anytime you say intelligent design, all you're trying to do is a fancy way of saying you're God. So
So
when you
so
say, hold
DNA.
on,
Wait. Hold on. DNA does not
allow
have
me to
specific coding,
allow me to finish. Allow me to
so
finish.
there's no coding in DNA.
Allow me to finish, sis.
Okay.
Allow me to finish. The fact that you see a pattern in something does not mean that there is a, let me say this again, a pattern maker. I need you to
Well,
understand that, sis.
okay. Okay.
Did you get me on
Okay.
that?
You can say that. That's fine. But
Okay.
if you can use DNA, oh God, my phone is doing some weird stuff. Okay, if you can use DNA to track down the parents of a child, right? There is a coding, right?
We
And their
agree.
pattern, right?
We
So
agree.
I
so
don't agree
why you don't?
Yeah,
Okay,
because that's not
I'm
how it
done with
works.
my questions. I'm done. Go ahead.
all right, Google Scholar, you up, bro?
All right. So
Mm.
on that DNA coding stuff, it's complete pseudoscience, and I wish that our people would really look into this stuff before they start to repeat it, because DNA is not a code. Of course, scientists will use the analogy of codes to describe what DNA does, but DNA is a quite natural occurrence. It's nothing supernatural about DNA. But that's not really what I want. I wanted to ask a few questions of Nick before he left, but since I can, I guess I'll have to ask you, DMG, because I don't really have any questions for Mudiwa. So, I noticed that Nick says that um, a virgin birth is improbable. It's not very probable, and I agree with him there. But he also said that he can only think of one instance where it happened. So, DMG, is somebody that used to study Kemet, um, isn't there a virgin birth in Kemet?
Not that I know of.
So what about Osiris? Wasn't Osiris born from a woman who didn't have sex, or at least didn't have sex with a man?
A Saw? No, a Saw would been born from a virgin. You mean Haru?
Yeah.
Probably Heru. I might be mixing them up.
Yeah. Some people say she was a virgin, but the way I always understood it was that her and Asar had sex of some sort, which led to the conception of Haru. So she wouldn't have been a virgin anymore once they conceived. So whether it was spiritual or physical is irrelevant to me. She wouldn't have been a virgin anymore once they consummated.
Did the D.
So
Mm.
that's
All
the
right,
way I
let's
yeah that's the
forget
way I
about Egyptians.
always
I'm
understood the
not I'm
myth.
not
It was
yeah, I'm not
It was Horus that was considered the virgin birth.
yeah.
Right.
Because
That's why Haru.
the way I learned it is that
I call it Horus. Okay.
the way I learned it was when she conceived, he was already dead. But let's move on
Yeah,
from that because
the story says that Asara's body was cut in several pieces. She
Right.
found the phallus,
The penis.
impregnated
Right.
herself with the found phallus. So,
That's
but
it.
that's yeah.
all
Right.
right.
And that
Well,
has actually
in
But that's the
happened
India,
thing. If
before in real life.
she fashioned the phallus, then she
After a
you know
statue,
what I
yeah.
mean?
She made it.
Right.
She made it an idol. Yeah.
yeah. No, well, all right. In India, the story of Krishna. Krishna was a virgin birth, and that was actually a
Correct.
virgin birth that was
Correct.
conceived.
Yeah.
That was before Jesus. So, wouldn't be fallacious to say that Mary was one instance where they know of the virgin birth happened, but don't attribute the same importance or the same probability to Krishna as well.
Well, the reason I would say it wouldn't be fallacious is that most people believe Mary was a actual historical person, whereas we know we believe Krishna is a myth.
Well, some people believe Krishna is a
Well, I
myth.
just said they believe.
I can show you Hindus who believe that Krishna
Oh,
was
yeah,
not a
I
myth.
know. Listen, I got a friend. When I walk in his house, he tells me to keep my voice down because Krishna and the other deities are resting. So I know it's some people who believe that. Now, but when I say it's some people who believe Odin and Zeus exist. It just depends on who the person is. But the majority of people believe it's a myth.
Yeah, no, I will agree with you that the majority do. But what about those who don't? What I'm saying is, why does one story? Well, we know we accept that Jesus was historical, but why does his
Well,
story of a virgin birth is the only instance that's significant, and the other instance where even for the people that hold it as historical, why is theirs not significant?
well, I wouldn't say that theirs isn't significant. If you ask a person who believes in Krishna was his birth significant, they would tell you absolutely. If you ask a person who believes in Haru's birth in terms of the literal sense, they would tell you it was significant. So it's not that it's
No, and
not significant. It's just
I'm not saying
which
this for you specifically. That's why I wanted to ask Nick, because he was the
yeah,
one that
yeah.
made the statement.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, we
because he
And I
gotta
was the
think
one
wait
that
till
made the
Nick get
statement.
on here for that. We gotta stay focused on the topic of Mudawa and what's going on, and move
Mick,
on
Mick,
because Nick
Mick,
is not
Mick,
here. I'm sorry.
we got we got
So wait, I don't get it. Wasn't you just asking questions? Was that the topic too?
Google.
I was asking
You good.
Mudawa questions.
Google,
I
you
know you
good.
good,
You
Google
good,
Google
bro.
Scholar. You always good with me, bro.
Mick,
But I'm
Mick, Mick,
saying,
Mick.
like, you know,
We good. We good. We good. I got it. Everybody straight. He Google can ask whatever you want to ask. Whoever he want to ask. My point
Listen,
being that I think and Leandre back. So but my point being that I think whoever believe in these instances or don't believe in them, that's what determines the significance of the event.
Absolutely.
no, I
And
get
that's a
you. I get
matter
you.
that goes back to the F word, right?
what's
Hmm.
the F word again, Mudawa?
Faith.
And you know,
Faith without, that's another thing I want to address. I'm sorry. Faith without works is dead. So when you said something along the lines about you moving on your own, the Bible also teaches that we
Mick,
must move on our
Mick,
own. I just want to
we,
iterate that. Thank you.
we gotta get to God body. You got a question for Mudawa?
I wanted to
No,
say something before God body come.
I actually had a statement for the other guy that was on when he said logic is something that we're taught. I don't agree with that. Logic is something you're born with. You just got to know how to use it. We all have logic, like the 5 or 6 senses that we got. We got logic, man. It's just knowing when and how to use it. We all use it. We just don't know it. So you don't have to be
Break
taught logic.
break
You just gotta
break
you gotta
break
be taught how to use it.
break it down. Break it down. What you mean by that?
Okay, logic isn't something that you're taught. Like I said, logic is a natural process, man. Whenever you want to do something or you want to figure something out, or you want to figure out a way to get to somebody or get to a certain point or whatever, you use logic to do it. If you want to get somebody, you use a logical tactic and you can get them. Okay. If you want to do anything, you use logic to eat. Whatever you do, you use logic. So you're not born. You don't have to be taught. You get. You're not taught logic, bro. You're born with it. You're taught how to use it, or you can figure out how to use it in certain situations. You're not taught logic, man. Nobody has to teach you logic. They can teach you how to use it. You know what I mean? That's the only thing I said with that.
Mudawa, do you agree with that?
I firmly disagree with that. I think logic and reasoning skills is learned behavior, and I think that
Mm-hmm.
it's one of those things where we see it every day when you see people make bad decisions based on their immediate logic without having a long-term thought process. Now, to take that into the context of what we're talking about, when you're talking about mythology, you're talking about someone's creation narratives or their beginning stories. You have to take it with a grain of salt. If you look at it and try to use logic and reasoning, none of them, I don't care which one you look at, none of them are going to make sense. None of them are going to be logical. None of them are going to be reasonable. None of them are going to coincide with each other because these are stories that were made by ancient people that didn't really understand the world as we know it right now. And guess what? In 1,000 years, the world as we know it right now is not going to be the same as they know it in the future. So we have to be cognizant of that fact. So we can't sit here in 2023, look at a book written by some goat herders in the Middle East and say that these people understood what the fuck the world was about. There's no way they had no idea what California looked like. The people that wrote the book.
Is there no one else?
They didn't know what New York looked
brother.
like. They didn't know what Argentina looked like. So how can we sit up here and say that these people that wrote this narrative wrote the catch-all be-all narrative for the world? Their world was a very small geographical area, and it worked for them. And we have to keep it in that context.
Oh, he
Sounds
done
good,
let
brother. It sounds good. That
Real,
sounds
real,
good.
real
That
quick,
sounds
real
good.
quick.
But
I gotta get
we're born with
I gotta
logic. You're born
God
with it.
body.
Brother
God
Deron.
body. I'm gonna come back to you. I gotta get to
I
the
got you.
most controversial man on Paradigm Shift
Oh,
TV3.
and I'm coming for you, Brother Deron. I'm
The, the,
coming
one-
for you, bro.
the one and only I son, Deron Tillers. What
Peace
you
and
got for us,
blessings to
bro?
all the brothers and sisters.
What's
I
up,
was
Deron? How you
listening.
doing, family?
Hey, what's up, brother Mo? I told DMG you my man for sure.
Always.
Peace and blessings to all. When the brothers said the word logic is basically common sense. It's the
That's
ability,
what I'm
and I
trying to tell
believe
you.
you and
Born with it.
myself, brother DMG, spoke about this when I talked about the six senses. I said you're probably going to name five, but you can't name the sixth one, and it's the ability and the faculty to reason. So
My man.
when I put some definitions up here about the virgin. Now, the first one said the word virgin originally meant an unmarried woman who was independent. Then the next one, you can say a virgin is a woman that never had sex. Another one is a virgin is a woman that's unmarried with child. Now, when we first come to school, we used to have this thing where you say you can pick A, B, C, D. Which one is the one that makes the most sense? Now, if you put that in front of a child and said a woman that was a virgin had a child, and you put on there that she hadn't had sex, then let me make sure I'm saying this right. If you show a child that a woman that was a virgin hadn't had sex, but yet you've taught a child that a virgin is someone that has had sex, but then you show them another definition and say, well, a virgin can also mean an unmarried woman. All right. Now, which one makes more sense? A woman having sex, that's a virgin, or a woman that's unmarried, that's a virgin? A woman that had sex can't be a virgin. She can't. The one that's unmarried, she can be. So when it talked about Joseph taking her, he took her in marriage. That's how it's taken. They've already had sex. She already slept with that man, or some man. Somebody slept with her. You cannot.
Real quick, because I gotta ask this question. If we're talking about the biblical narrative, then why did she tell the angel who told her she was gonna be with child? Why did she say how when I haven't known a man?
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna tell you a different word for angel was angle also. Whenever something goes on that's so drastic, there's another angle coming in. Just like on Israel and Jacob, here comes another angle coming in. All right, you gotta use here. This is common sense and logic.
Hence the problem we have with religion.
Can you have
time I
him
laugh,
repeat
it
that?
hurts.
Can you have him repeat
Sorry,
that?
but
Stop
that's just
laughing,
simply the
DMG.
case. It's
Stop
just
laughing, bro.
Let's look at it this way, brother. I'm gonna
let you finish. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah,
Can you ask him
I
to
brought
repeat
this. I brought this definition out one time, and I just want to make it make sense. That's basically what we're trying to do here, and stop believing because someone told you or we've heard it from our grandparents. So therefore, we continue what is called a tradition. It doesn't make it right. It's just a tradition. Now, I've showed in here where it says a cloud could mean a cluster of people, or you can refer to a cloud of molecules in the sky. Now, which one makes sense that Jesus, that per the scripture, would be around? Would he be around a crowd of people, a cluster of people?
Yo, DMG, is this about Mudiwa, or was this around Deron Ellis giving another lesson?
I'm not giving it. We're sharing conversation about the brother that came on here.
I told the brother to go. He going.
Yeah, that's all right. The fact is, it hurts because it takes apart these clouds and these false ideologies that they speak about because it doesn't make sense. So when the truth comes, something has to happen. I'm not taking over Brother Mudiwa's show. Brother Mudiwa is my brother. I'm adding to his show because, like Brother Mudiwa, I don't believe in gods either. Now, I believe in a creator opposite of Brother Mudiwa, but I don't believe in these.
So if that's the case, what did it mean when the Bible says because you? No, you said you're gonna let him go.
Remember, Chris is not my show, so ask Brother Mudiwa.
Let him finish. Let him finish, and then
Jesus Christ, man.
Mudiwa.
I've made my point. The fact is that you have A, B, C, D to choose from. The fact that the Christians, they're already what's the word I'm looking for? They're already coded to say a virgin birth is somebody that never was never with someone, but yet still had a child. It's in their DNA, as the sister was speaking of earlier. So the DNA doesn't have to be a physical thing. DNA can be a mental thing also.
Oh wow, that's deep. That's deep, brother. And I need you to go into depth with that.
Chris Harris is on you.
Not what I said earlier.
You go back to Mudiwa.
Chris, what's good, family? How you doing? How you doing, Chris?
Right.
How you doing, brother?
What up, Mudiwa? I heard you when you were speaking about atheism, and when the can you hear me? Testing 1, 2, 3.
We can hear you, brother. We can hear you.
All right, so I actually agree with everything Nick said. He was speaking in terms I don't think he can hear me.
We can hear you. Maybe somebody needs to mute up.
You got a lot of background noise, but we hear you.
I don't hear anything.
Well, we can hear it, but I hear that whatever that is in the background too.
Everybody needs to mute their mics, please. Mute your mic.
Mine is muted.
Everybody except Chris and Mudiwa.
All right. I hope Mudiwa can hear me, but one of the things I always notice with atheists is what they do is they tend to argue with theists, people who have a religion from the position of a book. Really, it's true atheism. They necessarily don't argue with Christians based on the understanding of a book, right? Because that means you're taking all the equity in the conversation. Somebody got to mute out, like for real. That's not even my mic.
Bro, come on. You jumped in when I was talking. Come on, go ahead and talk, bro.
No, I hear you
I'm
well,
just
bro.
asking,
Keep going.
Yeah,
everybody.
I'm just asking.
Everybody except Chris and Mudiwa, right?
We got you.
Right.
Mudiwa needs to mute too while Chris speaking.
Oh, is that? Do you hear feedback on my side?
Bro,
No, I just hear somebody outside, and I hear a lot of cars and stuff like that.
Oh, that is me. That is me.
Yes.
I'm on the porch.
Yeah. All right. So what we have, what I tend to always sit up here and say, most times atheists, they argue with the theists from the position of, well, prove it in your book. Prove it in your book. That's called an argument from silence, where you have all the equity and they don't have any equity because no matter what, you're saying that it's not true, it's not true, it's not true. And I think that's the position that Nick was speaking from, because really you're having an informal versus formal conversation. You understand what I'm saying? That's why he was talking about inductive and deductive reasoning and things like that. I think the conversation needs to change when it comes to an atheist versus a theist position. You know what I'm saying? Like if I tell you, like say for instance, you agree with science, right? You agree with
Correct.
science, right? I've been hearing you saying that you're going to stay safe. You're going to stay on the side of science, right? You're going to err on the side of
Correct.
science. Well,
Correct.
if I tell you scientifically you can't get something from nothing, then guess what? A theist can have a position to stand on. Because guess what? Through nature, you can't get something from nothing. You understand what I'm saying?
Correct.
So when we talk
And I
about the
agree.
process of right, so from the process of evolution, where we come from a eukaryotic, um, we still haven't figured out the life equation, and science does not explain that. You understand what I'm
That
saying? Now, I'm not going to sit up here and say that we're born from a golem spell, but there are things that science does not explain and
correct.
cannot explain. You know what I'm
Correct.
saying? So I just want to sit up here and say that be careful of the argument from silence, But another thing that you said was on here. You stated that you challenge anybody about atheism today in West Africa. And I think you mentioned antiquity. Can you clear that up for me, please? Can you clear that up? Did you say
All
that
right.
there were
I
atheist tribes in antiquity?
Yeah, I'm saying no. I'm saying that it would be intellectually dishonest to say that Africans at some point in time didn't have the philosophical thought of atheism. If Africans are the oldest people on the planet and we had 100,000 year head start on every other Homo sapien in the world, I think it would be intellectually dishonest to say that at least some of them held a what we would consider today to be an atheistic POV. Now, I don't think they would acknowledge it as being atheism, but I'm pretty sure that somebody did not believe in the superstitious, in the spiritualness, in everything that everybody else believed in. That's all I'm saying. And I'm also saying that it's wrong for us as black people to say that, oh, black people always been spiritual. We're not a fucking monolith. There's no such thing. We're not a monolith today. We weren't a monolith 1,000 years ago. We weren't a monolith 10,000 years ago. We weren't a monolith 100,000 years ago. There have always been free thinking Africans on this planet. And I think that that's never going to change. And I think that as once we start realizing that black people do not need spirituality as a whole for us to move forward, we can start to move forward. And I land
And
with
that's
that.
where I think, yeah, and I think that's where you're being academically disingenuous. And I'm going to explain my stance here, because me and you have had this conversation before. You made, once again, that's a argument from ignorance now, because what you're doing is you're saying you don't have an anthropological journal to sit up there and sustain your point when you sit up there and say you find it hard to believe that Africans were atheists. It's not on us to prove that. You would have to prove that, especially if you're starting at Homo sapiens sapien, which is 130,000 years ago. Because as far as we go back, when we see Homo sapiens sapien from Homo erectus, we see Homo erectus and Homo sapiens sapien burying their dead ritualistically. And we begin to see that through the stratigraphy in which they're being found in, especially in Ethiopia, where some of the oldest bones were discovered. You understand what I'm saying? So they're being buried according to ritual, which means that they had some type of spiritual system that honored their dead or their fallen, depends on the state in which they died. Two, I think you're also hard pressed to sit up there and say that religion is irrelevant when the social structures that we have today, even the laws come from religion. You understand what I'm saying? Thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not profane one another, those type of things. All of those things came from the institutions of what we call organized religion. Whether you started in Kemet, Nubia, the Levant, all of those things came from organized religion. So it's hard pressed for you to say that religion is irrelevant today when religion also helps give people a certain type of destiny. That's one of the things that religion is great for, because it helps shape human consciousness for the better, believe it or not. Because as far as I can go back, I can see the evolving of religion into today's modern sciences that we have today. And I can start right there with the social sciences that we have today and show you that a lot of our social sciences had evolved from religious practices or religious institutions.
Can
I just want to say that.
I chime in?
Go ahead, brother. Go ahead,
Can
brother.
I go next? Because I want to ask Brother Chris a
Yes.
question after
There-
whoever.
there's-
We got another panelist on, so I'll let Google respond, and then I'm gonna get to the electromagnetic messiah.
There's a few problematic things he says, right? First of all,
More than a few, but go ahead.
yeah.
I agree.
First of all, the concept of atheists arguing with believers from the point of their book or what their book says, that's a not always true. And even if it's the case, the book that the theists bring, that's the claim, and that's the claim that atheists are asking to justify. So there's nothing wrong with asking somebody to justify a claim. That's point A. Point B is that there are certain of the Twa tribes in Africa that did not have a God concept before colonial contact, and that's documented. So if they didn't have a God concept, somebody without a God concept would be considered atheist. It's just that the word atheist would not have applied to them at that time, because that word is
Facts.
from antiquity. But it doesn't mean that there weren't people that didn't all have the same beliefs. And us in the West like to at times look at Africa as a monolith, and we keep saying that Africa has never been a monolith. There are different people groups, different tribes, different ethnic groups, and they don't always share the same ideas and beliefs and even origins, right? So you have to be careful about making blanket statement like that. In terms of science and yeah, I forgot that point. Go ahead.
Yes. Let me just interject because when you say
I'm sorry,
monolith,
sister. Let me hold on real quick before you go. I have to answer
I
something.
got,
He
I,
just said something.
I got.
He
oh
just
I
straw
brother,
remember
man
I
one of my
said
pause
arguments.
for a second. You can answer it.
real quick.
Can
You
I?
can
I have
answer it.
another panelist at the
Yeah, we
Google. I
gotta go
wanted to
around.
get.
We gotta go
But do
around
I
the
have a
horn.
right? But do I have a right to address what he just said, though?
Yes,
I'm
you
not
We
gonna take
do.
we
long.
You
we'll
do.
get
But
back to you. Remember, I
We
yeah,
said
go. We
right,
gotta
right,
go around the
I'm at
horn,
work.
Chris.
Respectfully,
right.
but I am at
Oh
work.
no,
I'm
don't
not
go
gonna stay
nowhere,
long
Chris. I
after
want
this.
you to stick around. I definitely want you to stick
I
around.
can come back on, but I am at work. But I just wanted to sit
Say
up here
what
and
you gonna
say,
say.
first of all, yeah, thank you. He did not address anything that I said. As a matter of fact, he was the one that made blanket statements. He said that there was an African tribe on that's been documented without even giving us the documentation, without giving us the scientific journal, without telling us the name of the tribe. He's the one that made the blanket statement. And once again, you guys
I
got to
did say
beware.
twa.
Hold
You
on.
didn't hear?
One thing I did, excuse me, I was very quiet when you spoke. I
Well,
expected respect, expect the
don't
same
lie.
type of thing. How many
let him
people heard him say that it was documented?
Let it get him off
Hold on,
his.
don't
Let
enter.
him
Hold on,
get it off his
DMG.
chest.
How many
Let him
people
get it.
heard him say that it was documented, but he never gave us the tribe,
I said
nor
it
did
was
he give
twa.
us,
I did say it was
excuse
twa.
me.
Stop lying.
Okay, the
Google.
Twa do have a,
Let him get it out.
Okay.
excuse
I
me,
gotta
the
pause. I
Twa
gotta
do.
pause y'all for a second. Google Scholar and Chris Harris. This is a topic for a debate, and we're gonna set
I'm not
that up.
interested in debating.
You
I
have
get paid
to.
to debate. I'm
Well, we're
not, I
not
get paid to
paying
debate. I'm
you,
not interested.
but you do. You
Look,
finna
all
do it
right.
right now.
I don't know.
Hey, can I?
I don't know what y'all. I don't know what y'all doing. We gonna move on to the.
We moving
Yeah,
on,
can I?
Chris
Can I
Harris.
ask Chris a
I don't know.
question?
I don't know
Because
what the hell just happened.
Can we get a floor to Deron, please? Deron, go
Go
ahead,
ahead.
brother.
all right,
No, we
cool.
not.
What the
I'm going.
fuck just
I already said
happened?
I was going to the next panelist. What is we
Oh, I'm
doing?
What is
sorry. I'm
this?
sorry.
Wait,
Let me get off
God
of
Chris.
here
damn.
then.
Hey, look, see how he jumped up off here? He
Go,
ran, Jack.
go ahead.
It was
Go
coming.
ahead, bro.
Wait, Deron, before that, we
It's
gotta get
No, I'm not
somebody
saying
else.
nothing. It was somebody before me. I'll
Everybody
wait.
be quiet, please. God damn it. Fuck.
I'm sorry.
I don't know why every time I'm trying to talk, another motherfucker talking. The fuck is this?
I feel like you cussing me out now. Go on,
Shit.
Man.
brother.
All
Anu,
right,
go
go
ahead,
on,
bro.
cook, brother.
Yeah, man, it's your boy Anu Kakarak. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know me as Laurel Burns, you know what I'm saying? Naga World Order stand up, man. I've been listening for a minute, you know what I'm saying, in the crowd. It's an interesting
Peace,
bill,
Naga.
man. You know what I'm saying? I'm one of Moody Wild's arch nemesis and stuff, so he been running from that ass whooping for a while, but we ain't even gonna get off into that. Like the whole conversation about parthenogenesis, about God, you know what I'm saying, all of that stuff. Y'all already know my premise. God is like light is electromagnetism or electric charge. So until somebody can define
Energy.
what divine actually is, you cannot readily say God does not exist, because God is something that is divine. So you have to be able to define what divine is, what is divinity. And if you're an atheist who do not believe in God and you do not believe in divinity, you have no way to identify divinity. You understand what I'm saying? So with that being said, if you are an atheist, you have to come up with some structure or some definition for us to go off of when you talk about God, because those of us who believe in God knows that God is divine. And from my study, divine is what shines. It was come from the heavens and what shines based on the etymological terms of the word. So
True.
I'll pass that question over to anyone on the panel. How do you define divinity, or how do you define what is divine?
Can I
We're gonna
take
give
that?
it, we're gonna give it to Mudawa, then we're gonna go to Asan.
Thank you, brother. I've been patient. I appreciate all of the different views and opinions, and whether I agree or disagree, I just appreciate that. The decorum for one thing. The respectfulness, even if we don't agree on certain things. And there was a lot of things said. Chris Harris said a couple things that totally mischaracterized my argument, but he's not here to defend himself, so I can't even speak on those things. If you're talking about atheism as a concept, and I just want people to take a step back, and let's use the overriding theme of tonight is logic and reasoning. Logic and reasoning. From a point of logic and reasoning, it would be intellectually dishonest to say that ancient Africans, some, did not have a philosophical point of view that was atheistic, or what we would perceive to be as such today. It would be intellectually dishonest to say that. We wouldn't be at the point that we are as a species if there wasn't some people that was like, hold up, that's not a supernatural occurrence. I can recreate this occurrence. I can start this fire myself. I don't have to wait till a lightning strikes for me to do that. I can corral this water. I can do these things with the elements that's in my natural surroundings. And I think that sometimes we get outside of that because us as black folks, we've been so conditioned to be a spiritual people. We've been so conditioned to be a believing people. And for some of us, hey, that's great. If that makes you a better human being, I'm not mad at you. If it makes you it makes you a better husband, a better father, a better brother, a better community member, a better citizen, go right ahead. But some of us don't need that. Some of us have the capacity to take a step back and look at your natural environment and say, how do I maneuver in my natural environment with empathy, logic, and reasoning and still be a good citizen? You understand what I'm saying, you guys? So don't look at don't look at atheism as a bad thing. Look at it as an alternative thing. Like, you don't have to be. I'm not a bad guy because I don't believe in what you guys believe in. I love my mama. I love my woman. I love my family. I love my people. I love making us do better in life. That has nothing to do with none of that shit. You dig what I'm saying? I just don't have the God concept that you guys have. I don't have that thing that sometimes holds a lot of you back because you don't want to step out there on your own accord and make shit happen. And I'll land the plane with that.
Hey, let's go
You
to
didn't answer the question though.
I'll
let's
answer
go
for him.
let's go to our son, and then I want to get Google Scholar and Mika. And Mika, I wasn't yelling at you. You already know you
was
the
yelling
first.
at me, shit. Fuck it.
No, I
I'll
was
take it,
yelling at.
y'all.
Listen. I was yelling at whoever. But if you was included, then yeah. But I wasn't yelling at you personally. It was a lot of yapping back and forth. So I just wanted to try to get some order back because it was getting out of control. But don't take it personal. You know you my sister. I appreciate you. Go ahead, son.
Yes, sir. Peace and blessings, brother. Thank you. The first thing I want to establish is that the word atheist only means you don't believe in deities and God. Now, unfortunately, Christians and people have been indoctrinated that God is the creator and the creator is God. That is not true. Okay. The God concept only goes back 6,000 years. The creator is well before that, to a point in time none of us knows. So you can't put the creator in a box like that. So if a person such as myself, if you would put me in that category, I would be considered an atheist only by way of not believing in gods, because it's not a singular, it's a plural. It's not one God, it's many gods. So therefore, right then and there, you just diminish what you call the Most High. There's one higher than the rest, but he's also fallen. Now, you said God is light. But see, in the Bible, it says in Isaiah 45:7, it says, I form light and create darkness. I bring prosperity and create disaster. I, the creator, do all things. So the creator is light, which is knowledge and wisdom, energy, but also through the creator came darkness, which we know of as Shaitan, Satan, the devil, or evil. And I call them gods. All right. So when you say that we can't challenge on this God concept, we most definitely can, because another meaning for the word God only means power and force. So whatever you choose to lend your credence to becomes your power and force. So you lend it to a God. But if I ask you, what's your God's name? You're going to have different gods, different ideologies, but all saying religion is one and the same. So you're arguing about your gods, where the brother Mudiwa, who says he doesn't believe in anything, that's his decision. But I definitely can hear him when he says he doesn't believe in the gods because of the structure and the organization of what God means in religions. You follow who is called theo. This is why you study what is called theology. You're following theo's logic. The O God, the God that is the head God of all the fallen gods, is a God of nothing. It has no power. It uses you and people that believe what you believe. And then it puts you as its forefront. It has no place to live. So your body is its vessel. That's why when it says it came in the beginning, it talks about how it had no form or shape. Well, that's the fallen spirit 6,000 years ago. So it uses the people. Now, the brother Chris, who was just on here, he made a statement. I wanted to ask him real quick what he meant by it, but he was saying to the point where, you don't have a book where we can challenge what you're saying. And that's all you have is a book. But if you go into Genesis 1, it doesn't say in the beginning was the Bible. It says in the beginning was the word, which is the spirit. So the spirit trumps the Bible. So when we're sitting here speaking because the Bible has hijacked the spiritual meanings and used religion to use it as a camouflage. So when we're saying it's your book, yes, it is your book, but it's our word. It's the Spirit's word. And you can't stop that. I just talked on this show with the brother the other day, how I said that book only has 12,000 pages, 3,300 verses, 807,000 chapters, and so many words. That's all it is. Your book has a beginning and an end, and it's outside of that. It's outside of that. So if there's an end to something, then it's over. So that tells you that the creator is after and before. That's just a small segment in time. And our people are locked into this religion.
No one else.
And we're locked into this religion as a people believing in God. And then you have to find out there are gods. When you find out that there's only one creator, but you have many gods, that's an error right there. That's an error right there. Remember what the book says and what the word says. If a house is divided, it can't stand. So if you got 45 gods, your gods will not stand.
Let me get
Because
to
now-
Google. Let me get
So-
to Google Scholar. Go ahead, finish your thought, and then I want to get to Google Scholar.
I'm good.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
I wanted the brother Chris Harris still on here, but he bounced off because he was the one that.
Man, y'all got me eating in here, boy. I'm hungry, boy. That's what I like what the brother just said, though, because that makes all the sense in the world. There's more than one God, man. I'm one.
God body.
I'm still waiting on the panel to define what divine is.
I'm gonna get to you. Let me get to Google Scholar. I'm gonna get to God body, and then I want Meek and Anoop to chime in. Go ahead, Google.
So I want to first address I apologize if I am disruptive in some way, but
No,
I was trying.
everybody good, bro. Everybody good. No apologies needed. I apologize for blowing up.
Yeah, but the brother Chris Harris, if you notice when Mika asks, I'm gonna talk about him behind his back because that's what he do. He run. If you notice when Mika asks him about the debate, he quickly says no, because he knows that I challenged him once on his show and I embarrassed him in terms of the historicity of Jesus. And so now what he wants to do is challenge me on this. And he immediately went to, because I mentioned the certain tribes that are considered atheistic. He want to challenge me and tell me that there are no Twa tribes that are atheistic, and I didn't have a source. So he didn't come and say, "You made a claim. Do you have a source for that?" No, he's accusing me that I don't have a source. So if you look in the StreamYard chat, I just put a link to a source from a historian, and the very first paragraph, it is telling you that certain tribes, certain of the pygmies. And pygmies is derogatory, by the way. They are called Twa. Certain of those tribes don't have God concepts.
You mind if I put that in the chat?
I'm sorry?
You mind if I drop that in the chat?
No, it's fine. I actually have a quite lengthy article from another historian but I couldn't find it on such short notice. But
I'm dropping Google link in the chat. Y'all check that out because he backing up what he's saying.
When I make statements, I'm not saying that I'm always right, but when I make statements, I don't just make statements to win an argument. I talk and what I'm talking about, I've actually read and have information on. Now, it's a useless conversation to think that that Europeans invented atheism. That's dumb, in my opinion. If Africans are the first people who believe in God, it's quite logical to think also that Africans would be the first people to say, "Man, I don't believe in no gods," right? So it's a concept community thing I see going on. Oh, we always believe in God, so you have to believe in God. It don't work like that. People have different points of view, and I respect people. And I debated with this guy on his channel about Jesus being historical, and he make bad arguments, and I keep knocking down his bad arguments. And so that's why when I responded to what he said, he took it as an attack, but it wasn't an attack. We were just having a conversation, and his points I didn't agree with because they didn't make sense, right? So it's just that when I make a statement, there were atheistic African tribes. They weren't called atheists because that word is fairly new compared to how long those tribes have been around. But it's not just in Africa; it's all over the world. There's a tribe in Brazil also that's called the Paraha, which does not have a God concept. You find that in Southeast Asia also. So this is a phenomenon. You have most people are religious, and and evolution actually explains a lot about why most people are religious. We have basically what they call a believing brain. We are conditioned to believe, to make up the gaps in our knowledge with
Mm-hmm.
with with the brain that we have. But you do have people and tribes which does not go along with the convention, and you see that in your everyday life. Most people will follow this way, but you always have somebody who's saying, oh, nah, that's wrong. You get what my point? So this is not controversial topic. Why make a mountain out of a molehill? It's not necessary.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Philosophical thought. Like philosophical thought is not uh, uh, philosophical thought. If we are the first people on the planet, that means we were the first people to have philosophical thought. And philosophical thought says at some point you're going to say, wait a minute, maybe I don't really have this concept that everybody has, or maybe I didn't have this concept to begin with. Like, come on, guys. Like, we're using we're looking at the God concept, and I love all my people that have the concept, and even the people that have far reaching concepts, like that one brother that says God is light. As far reaching as that, it has merit to it, because guess what? And you know what your God is? Protons, neutrons, and electrons. At the end of the day, that's the most fundamental thing we have in this universe: protons, neutrons, and
Energy,
electrons, energy. Yeah,
energy.
so he's
And it
he's
can't be measured.
absolutely correct with that. But when he attaches the word God to it, he wants to get into some spookism. That's the part where me and him philosophically differ. But that's what he wants to do. But he's one of my students. I get it. I understand where he's coming from. You understand what I'm saying? So uh, this thing ain't new, man. Having philosophical thought is not new to African people. We've been doing this thing for hundreds of thousands of years, and to put us in a box and say that we have to believe as the ancient Hebrew Israelites believed is disrespectful to our history, to be
Very,
honest.
very.
You know what I mean? And I land the plane with that.
I'm gonna let
Yeah.
you.
Can I
I'm
make
gonna
a
let you get off with that.
I just can I just make a quick statement? I won't be long at all.
Hey,
I
real
promise.
quick, what I'm gonna do? I want to get Mika in, and then I'm gonna go around, let everybody get a closing statement. Everybody can get 2 minutes. Yeah, 2 minutes should be cool because I'm gonna get ready to get out of here.
Me
Mika,
too. I'm ready. Okay, I want to thank all the brothers for chiming in. I appreciate everybody's intellect and knowledge that they brought, so to inspire thought. That's the main goal. I do want to say that, like I said, with the thermodynamics, energy can never be created or destroyed. To me, that's God. When you think about
Thank you.
anthropology, when you think about anthropology, they said we come from one cell, then we went to the ocean, then we sprouted. That's still God, that one cell. So, with
That's not
that
true.
being said, huh? What happened? Oh,
go ahead,
He
Mika.
was
uh,
agreeing with you.
uh,
No, go ahead.
uh,
Go.
okay. And then too, I want to say Duran is on point. There are many gods because you will find it in the Bible, in Psalms. I can't really quote it right now because I don't have my Bible out. But we are gods. All of us are gods. That's why it says
Thank you,
that
sister.
when
You
No,
ain't never say
he
that.
ain't.
Thank you.
No,
God
5%
gave us
Lord.
gods believe
Duran's
that.
not.
5%ers
No, no,
believe that.
no.
We know that
No,
because
no,
of
we
the
no.
energy that we
Duran's
and
not
the
a
have.
god.
Bible
It comes
said,
from God.
yeah,
Hey,
but the Bible
Duran's not a
says
god.
let Mika finish her close out. Go ahead,
the
Yeah.
Mika.
Bible says that we are gods, and it also says faith without work is dead. We have to. The door is open. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta kick that bitch in sometimes or walk in. Excuse my language. Um. Also, I want to say, I wanted to talk about, oh Lord Jesus, the divine feminine, because Mudawa was talking about like ancient African uh, 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 spirituality. I'm married to an African, and they're very spiritual. And then my daughter, she introduced me to a bunch of Africans. I'm in this whole African world. They're very spiritual. It's an anomaly when an African is not spiritual. You know what I'm saying? They might have different deities, and then across the globe, there are different deities. There are different ideologies, but the principles are the same. The principles are the same. So what are we debating? Don't kill each other. Don't lie on each other. You know what I'm saying? This is love. You know what I'm saying? Don't steal from one another. You know, you work for what you get. You know what I'm saying? It's a basic principle across the board. Whether you're an atheist, whether you're a Kemetic, whether you're a Christian, whether you're an Israelite, whether you're anything, the basic principles is what we should be focused on, and to build our people up. And that's all I gotta say. And I'm
Real
done.
quick, Mika talked about the divine feminine. Speaking of the divine feminine, me and the brother Coach Brody got a show Thursday. Y'all gonna want to come back and see that. We talking about, is it natural for men to have one woman? Is it natural for a man to be monogamous? Come back Thursday for that show. Google Scholar, give us your closing statements, my brother. I'm glad you came in tonight.
Peace, peace. I just want to say thank you for letting me on, for having me. Um, there's something that Sister Mika just said that I don't agree with, but I don't want to get into that right now. Um, one other point that I wanted to make is that earlier when the brother came on, he was talking about the virgin birth, and it seems like he was trying to say that the idea of the word for virgin being just a young maiden, it don't make sense. But it's not
Hmm?
just about common sense. The fact is that words have usages, and sometimes one word can mean one thing here and now, and then 100 years down the line, that same word means a different thing. So it is a field of study that you have to study the language, the Hebrew language, and the Greek that the Bible is written in, to get the full context of what is being said. And so yeah, it's not just because this sounds more logical to me, that means I'm right. It could be that it sounds more logical, but you're just completely wrong. So in that case, and I also want to say that I'm. This is not me saying that I'm proposing that the Bible teaches that does not teach a virgin birth. I am in 100% agreement that the New Testament teaches a virgin birth. That Mary did not have sex prior to Jesus being born, or at least to her getting pregnant. That's, I believe that's accurate according to the New Testament. So I just want to get that in there. I also had a debate about that actually with Apostle Zaquan, but you know,
Really, really.
yeah.
Let me know. Did you already had it, or you getting ready to?
No, I did already have it.
Oh, okay. Where
Yeah,
can we find that?
it was on Lions Den, so you it's
Man. Okay.
yeah, I
Okay.
know, I
Mm,
know, I
mm,
know.
mm, 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 mm.
Yeah, but you
Okay.
know, it's all
No,
good.
no. Shout out to them to the Cubs. Then it's all good.
Oh shit.
And if anybody
I
wanna
like
have
that one.
that debate with me on paradigm ship, I'm willing
I'll take
to
it.
have it too.
Since you were
Oh yeah.
speaking to me,
Yeah,
I'll take it.
yeah,
Oh,
I'm willing.
Okay. Hey,
look at the
hey,
young
let let
boy.
let
The
let's
young
let's
boy
let's
stepped up.
let's, let's, let's
You're saying
negotiate that.
that the virgin birth actually happened, correct?
No, I'm saying according
He's
to
saying
the
that that's
narrative
what the
in the
narrative
scripture.
is describing.
You're saying that's what they meant.
Mm-hmm.
In other
That's,
words,
yeah, it teaches that in the Bible.
okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll bring it to the
We'll
table.
hash
Let me
out the
let John
details.
Body I'll let God body close out, then I'm gonna get to you, Anu.
All right.
But
For
don't
sure.
forget me.
I
I'm still
appreciate.
here.
I know you're
I
gonna be
appreciate.
second. You're gonna be
I'll
right
be
before
last.
Mudiwa, bro. You're gonna be right
Oh,
before
yes.
Mudiwa.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead, God body close out for us, bro.
Of course, of course. Peace, peace. Hey man, I appreciate this DMG. You always doing it big, but I like the way you do what you do though. But when you get down to the virgin birth, being that I'm a 5%er and I started out a Christian, I understood the virgin birth because as a Christian, you have to turn all power over to God. Now, when they said that he did this without penetrating her and none of that, that's showing God's power. How he can impregnate a woman without touching her. That's spiritual, and that's all the Bible and Christianity teaches. All right. So that's when I was a kid, I understood that. And when your other guy was on here speaking of being taught logic, you can't teach me logic. You can teach me how to use my logic. Oh, I can think myself on how I should use my logic. It may not turn out the way I want it to, but we're born with logic. You are taught how to use it, okay? But you're born with it. It's like one of the five senses or six senses you got. You're born with it. Now, as far as the virgin birth, like I said, it's just showing the power of God. I don't have to penetrate a woman to impregnate her. I can put this energy in her body. You can't do that. You have to actually have sex with her to put your energy in her body. Because sperm is energy. It's living, it's life. So that's what I got from the Bible when I heard that story. That's what I got. I said God is powerful. Damn, he ain't even got to have sex with this woman and he impregnated her. That's power, and that's all that's showing. That's trying to convince you that God is the Almighty, and basically that's all that was to me.
Hey, real quick, God, I just
5%
want to say this brother been with me since before I started the channel. Always supported. If I bought T-shirts, Cash App, the whole demo, man. You've been riding for
If
a
I
long
got it,
time.
you got it.
I
If
appreciate
I
you,
got
bro.
it, you got it.
100%.
You got it, man. I'm telling you.
No
Really.
doubt. No doubt. Salute to
And
you,
like
man.
and like you said, we've been down for a long time, man. We've been down for a long time, bro. And I don't take that lightly, man.
No
I really
doubt.
don't. You my brother, man, all the way. I don't care I don't care what you believe, when you believe, how you believe. You always gonna be my brother, man. Forget all that other stuff, bro. We connected,
Exactly.
man. For sure.
I
For
remember you
sure.
told me, you was like, dang, DMG, you don't shout out the gods at the beginning of the show. I was like, hey, I gotta fix that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I gotta fix
Yeah,
that.
man.
No doubt.
Yeah, and I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that because a lot of my brothers and sisters have been tuning in, and they were like, I like the fact that he, say what's up to the God. Cause I said, I mean, a lot of people don't because a lot of people don't recognize us. You know what I'm saying? And that's the power of a crew that doesn't make noise. A crew that makes noise ain't got no power because you want to be seen and heard. So you don't have any power. A crew that can move like we move and we still picking up members and still growing, that's power, man. Because we only speak when we need to, and we only say the things that need to be said. And we
No
only gonna
doubt.
speak on something that we know. So you ain't gonna hardly see a 5% out here just talking a bunch of gibberish, bro. We ain't gonna do that. But we also read the Bible. We follow the narrative. We also read the Quran, and we got the BOL. So we do all knowledge, bro. Ain't nothing getting past the 5%. You can talk to him about anything. Jesus
No
Christ,
doubt.
Allah, whatever you want to speak on, we have knowledge in the area, and we'll sit down and we'll talk with you. We'll
For
do that.
sure.
We'll piece it up.
For sure.
So peace to everybody who came in
Speaking of
tonight.
a group,
Extraordinary show.
no doubt, man. I
Go ahead,
appreciate you coming
DMG.
on, bro.
Oh
Speaking
man,
of
I
a
appreciate
group,
you having me.
that's quiet and not making a lot of noise, but steady adding members. Anouk Kakarot. Close
My
Peace,
out for us.
man.
peace. Yeah, so I'm gonna make this real short and sweet. And I know some of y'all probably heard this before. Okay, man cannot explain something that he cannot imagine. So when you talk about what is God and God concept, you have to understand that the origins of the God concept came from the observation of nature itself. So when you talk about God, you have to be talking about something that's in the natural world, because man cannot explain something that he cannot imagine. And if you think you can do it, go ahead and try. Go ahead right now. Anyone, go ahead and just try to explain something that you can't imagine. You see what I'm saying? So when we talk about this God concept, we have to go off of the general consensus of the human experience dealing with God. God is in everything. God is in all places at one time. You know what I'm saying? God is not constricted by time. You have to understand those things. Well, when you deal with those principles, light, or what they call electromagnetism, electric charge, negative, positive, neutral charge, is the only thing that you have in common with the trees, the birds, the wood, the metal, the rain, anything. That's the only thing that you have in common with every single thing. And those things are everywhere simultaneously, all at the same time. When we get to talking
Energy.
about power, when we talk about power, we talk about force. The greatest force known to man is the electromagnetic force. It affects things at a distance, great distances across galaxies and parsecs. You see what I'm saying? Without electromagnetism, you don't have brain waves. You don't have consciousness without electromagnetism. You see what I'm saying? So without this electrical charge in your body, you know what I'm saying, you would not exist. If you died right now, they're not going to rub no defibrillator together and yell Allah, or they're not going to yell Ra or Amun. They're not going to yell Yahweh. They're going to shock you with a few thousand volts. And if your spirit has not, or your energy has not left your physical body, the magnetic portion of that defibrillator will pull your energy back into your body, and you'll wake up. So when we talk about what is God, you have to understand that is something that's natural. You know what I'm saying? When we talk about something that's supernatural, that's just something that's beyond regular natural human sensory perception. You understand what I'm saying? So if you need a device in order to see it, that is something that is supernatural. You know what I'm saying? In essence, it's something that's supernatural. You know what I mean? So again, like I said, I'm not gonna make this long. I don't want to be long winded, because I know you brothers been on here for 3 hours. So you know what I'm saying? I really appreciate the build. I'm gonna be looking out for more shows, bro, and bring some heat to you, man, because we're gonna really destroy this whole sick um, zeitgeist dealing with religion. Because to be honest with you, all of them are engaging in idol worship. And if you have a god and it is anthropomorphized as a human being, it has ears, nose, eyes, mouth, a heart, it walks. That's idol worship. If your God has a name, you encapsulated your God in the name, you're idol worshiping. You can only explain God according to your experience with God. You see what I'm saying? That is the only thing you could do. So you giving a fictitious name to God, it's just you engaging in idol worship. You understand what I'm saying? And that's all the way around the board. It don't matter what religion it is. And I close out.
And that's why they call them the
I gotta say
electromagnetic
that. That's true.
Messiah.
Is there no one else? Is there
That's
no
why I
one
consider
else?
myself God. Any man should
All right,
consider
son.
himself God.
All right, son.
Yes,
It's
sir.
on you, my brother.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to unpack a lot of things in a little bit of time. I'll try to go from where the last brother left off, talking about if you have a name. If you have a title, then your title can be sent to any God. Each and every one of us on here has a name, which means that you're speaking directly and specifically to that one. So to have a name is not idol worshiping, brother. It's having a relationship and a connection. Now, the problem is everybody have all of these gods and deities with these false names and these fallen angels. That's all they are. They're just fallen angels, and they're devils running throughout the earth. So you need a name. I'll make it quick. It said that if my people who are called by my name will seek my face. Why'd he go? I didn't want him to go. I want him to stay. Will seek my face Now, there's only one name that's a common denominator in this room, and that name is I. That's it. None of us can be I. All of us would use the name I to take away from our numerator. So let's get that part clear. Now, I got to remember what the other brother was talking about, the virgin birth, the brother that was the 5%, and the other brother that said that they believe that Mary's birth happened. Let's get this clear. The New Testament would have been Genesis. The creator would have never had to impregnate Mary if Mary was Eve, and Eve would have came before Adam. Then the child would have been born. So you don't make the man first, then make the female after, and then take the man out of the equation. That's ridiculousness. And that's out of order. So don't say this is the majesty of a God. No, that is religiosity. That is something that has been embedded in your mind, and you have been fallen into a trap of something that does not make sense. A female cannot have a child, period, without insemination or physical sex with the man. There's no other way. She's not walking around and then some angel tap her on the shoulder and say, you know what, you're pregnant now. Come on. This is, as they say in the Nation of Islam, this is spookism. This doesn't make any sense. Use your logic. Let me explain something to you. If you ask a child, again, if a female's a virgin, can she have a baby? That child is going to tell you no. What does the scripture tell you? Go back to the ways of a child. Think like a child. You've been indoctrinated and poisoned with this type of stuff for the last however many years you are. And then you're passing it down like a tradition. You got to break this. You was thinking Christmas, Easter, all these holidays. Some may still celebrate that stuff, but we're still corrupted with that mess because it's a feel-good mentality, and our family told us this. Now, I'm going to deal with the sister also. She made a statement. She said, ye are all gods. Well, where'd she get that from? She got that from Jesus. It was what? Psalms 82:6. Now, I told you before, the name of your God is Theo, which is the O God. That's who you're following. Listen what Jesus says. He says, I have said ye are gods. He didn't say we. He said ye, meaning everybody but him in that conversation. He didn't follow these gods. He's telling you right now, they're putting these gods on him. He's telling the people, ye are gods. He should have said, we are gods, not ye. We are gods. He should include him in that, but he never did. There's a book out. I got to find it, but it talks about how Jesus was. I got a copy of some stuff I've been writing about, looking at it. It's something about how Jesus didn't believe in the gods that they believed in. He was showing something totally different. I got to remember the name. I think it was the book of Timothy, if I'm not mistaken, now that it's recollecting. Try to find the book of Timothy and you'll see what I'm talking about. But listen what he says. He says, I have said ye are gods, and all of your children, and you are the children of the Most High God. You are the children, not us. He said, you are the children. Talking to you, sister and brother, whoever said that we're gods. And I'm telling you, Duran is nowhere near a God. I don't believe in gods. I'm above gods. And the God that you believe in, I'm above that one too. Now, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful because I'm not talking to your flesh. I'm talking to that wicked spirit that has turned to people think something that's not true. Now, but then it says, but ye shall die like men and fall like one of princes. And then it says, arise, oh, look at what it says. In verse 8, it says, arise, O God, judge the earth, for thou shalt inherit all nations. O God is there, not O-H. Who is the O God? You study theology, the O's logic. That's what you're reading. That's what you're discussing. Now I'm going to deal with the last part when we talk about the gods and how they say it wasn't in Africa, atheism wasn't in Africa. Look at how when us as a people, when we go and we accept awards, first thing we say, I want to thank God. We score a touchdown. Thank God, pointing to the heaven. Look at the Caucasian man. They never do that, ever. You might get 1% that says, thank you, God. Go look at the country awards. Go look at the AMAs and all those shows that are Oscars. And you tell me how many of them Caucasian people say, thank you, God, because they gave you God. And while they gave you God, they became your God. Because when you're saying thank you, God, at them award shows, you're thanking the people that gave you the award. How you thanking God? Because God ain't gave you that award unless that's your God that gave you that award for the good work you did, little nigga, because that's what they thinking. They don't say thank you, God. Go look at it. These people have indoctrinated their way.
Are you not entertained?
That's why they say now they're running around here trying to get to Mars. Why are they trying to get to Mars? Because they know the Earth is about to change and it's about to be put in the hands of its rightful owners. The problem is they know they can't get to Mars because there's no water on Mars. So they know it's the end. And I'll just end with this. Keep thinking that when they tell you this global warming is about the glaciers and all of that. No, the global warming is about the minds of the people. When the brother was talking about you can't think like the creator. That's why it says, let this mind be in you. We're made in the image and the likeness of the creator. The creator found out when this Satan and this devil came forth, it came out of the creator because the creator is all. But it found a weakness and it had to destroy that weakness within itself. It took 6,000 years. Now it's our job to do the same thing. We have to destroy the weakness within us so we can become the power in the force, not a God, the power in the force and the worker for the creator. Go study Ohm's law. E times I times R equals E. E divided by R equals I. I divided by E equals R. So what that means, I is energy, electricity. That's the creator. R is ohms, resistance. That's the God, the negative force. E is the voltage. That's the power, the people that do the work. Look at Ohm's law. If you divide yourself from I, you become an O. You become this false believing God. If you divide yourself,
Is there no one else?
You become like I, the creator. You're not the creator, but you become likened to the creator. But both of those are inside you. The I times the R is inside you, which makes the E. So we have duality in us. So you have to kill one. We're not a dual people. We're singular people. This is why I is getting rid of O, who you call Satan and the devil in the Bible talks about. He'll be cast away for 1,000 years and then be gone forever. There's no such thing as duality in peace. There's no such thing as it. And I thank you, brother. Peace and blessings.
Hey, Deron.
Y'all be remembering.
They say a hell of a lot. I agree with you, DMG. Yo, this classic Craig. I gotta say this right here, Deron. You have 5 verses. 5. You see what I'm saying? I hate to be like Ratchet Craig, but you better not disappear. You better not get kidnapped.
Hey, because now Google Scholar got you in his scope. So
hey, bruh, I don't run from the fire. I run to the fire. That's how I get purified.
Right. Hey, but
Google Scholar ain't no joke.
Real
quick, buddy. I gotta get to I gotta let Mudiwa close out. But before he do, I gotta thank the brother for coming on. We had Sonnet on. He was patient through that. We had the Godfather of Consciousness. Then we had a panel full of people. The brother stood in. We had the brother who Leandre brought in. I keep wanting to call him Paul, but I think his name was Nick. The brother was patient through that. So, brother, I appreciate you coming on. I appreciate your patience. Come back whenever. And you're welcome anytime. You got an open door, carte blanche, as they say. I definitely appreciated you standing pat. So the floor is yours. Take as long as you want.
Well, I'm typically brief, brother. I don't be long-winded. First and foremost, I appreciate the platform. I appreciate everybody that contributed to the platform. I appreciate the decorum that was used today. I appreciate it wasn't that much niggatry, aside from aside from where it was. But I wanted to say this, man. In this thing that we call consciousness, there is no one way to do it. There is no one way to do it. It's going to be a collective effort. It's going to take some of you Christian people to go get the people that Christianity resonates with them. You 5%ers, it's going to take y'all to go get those people that resonates with them. You Muslims, is going to take y'all to go get them. It's going to take y'all that have anything else. But the problem is, in my opinion, when many of us have these spiritual ideologies and we start having a supremacist mind state with our spiritual ideologies, your spirituality ain't no better than nobody else's spirituality. I don't care what it is. And I'm not being disrespectful to nobody that has a spiritual disposition, but all of it has holes in it. So the best thing that the spiritual people can do is try to find common ground with those of us that don't have that ideology, and let's try our best to move forward. And I'm hearing a common theme. I'm hearing a lot of people, and this is a beautiful thing to me. I'm hearing a lot of black people that are kind of like veering away from the old God did it, it's just God. Y'all speaking scientifically. I heard Mika speak scientifically, but still try to blame it on God. I heard Anu speak scientifically, but still try to blame it on God. I heard Duran speak scientifically, but still try to blame it on the creator. I've heard all of y'all do the same thing. Essentially, y'all know that the people that came up with the ideologies that y'all adhere to, they would say you lying, you ain't doing it right. But you are smart enough to say, wait a minute, energy is what creates what's going on around me. Protons, neutrons, electrons is your God. You understand that. You understand that everything around you, like Mika said, thermodynamics, energy can neither be created nor destroyed, it can only be transferred. What? You understand that, beloved black people. And I'm saying, don't demonize me because I don't believe the way you believe. Look at me as your brother that says, okay, this brother is standing strong and he has the courage of his convictions. He can say, I don't believe in that thing and still have y'all back. That's a beautiful thing.
It's a beautiful
That's a
thing.
beautiful thing. Let me
That's
explain
what's
something
up.
to y'all. Guess what? Uh, our dear brother Marcus Garvey, our beloved brother Marcus Garvey, his right hand man was a brother by the name of Carlos Cook. Look him up. Carlos Cook, not with an S, but Carlos Cook. Carlos was a whole atheist. He was a whole atheist out here. And he stood as the right hand man to arguably one of the most revolutionary men that we've ever had in our community. Uh, there's another brother I want you to look up, a brother by the name of Hubert Harrison. Hubert Harrison was instrumental in many of our endeavors. This brother was also an atheist, did not have a God complex, but moved us forward as a people. And I'm saying these things to say this, y'all. You have to get past like looking at us sideways because we don't believe the way you believe. I believe in you. I don't believe in what you believe in, but I believe in you, black man. I believe in you, black woman. I believe that if we get our shit together, we can move mountains. And I
Mm.
land the plane.
Hey,
I just
and
want
what
to
the
say
brother
one more
said
thing.
was powerful. And as I always say, we can disagree without being disrespectfully disagreeable. We can have unity without uniformity. God body, you was about to say something. Go ahead, bro.
No, I just wanted to correct the brother when he said what I said about the Virgin Mary thing. I'm a 5%. We read the Bible, we read the BOL, we read the Quran, everything. But what I'm saying is, I didn't believe in it. I was just explaining to the brother what the concept meant. That God was powerful enough to get this woman pregnant without penetrating her vagina. That's all I was saying. I read the Bible as a 5%. I got the BOL, I got the Quran, I got the Bible. I study from all books. We do all knowledge, and that's all I'm saying. I am God, so I don't say I don't believe in a higher spiritual God, but I know who I am, and that's all I was saying. I was just explaining to them the power. They were trying to show God's power. He didn't have to penetrate the woman physically to get her pregnant. That's all.
Yeah, you was just pointing it out from their perspective, and basically, family. Well, all we trying to say is this: like Malcolm X said, check your religion at the door, and let's be about the business of our people when it comes to fighting for all things that's going to push us forward in power. That's really what we're saying. So essentially what we're saying is this.
I'm running this shit. Sit your $5 ass down before I make change.
That's all we're saying.
I got you.
Go ahead, Classic Craig.
Absolutely.
Yes. Like we believe we are God. If we got the energy, we are God.
Now, see, I'm like Brother Mudiwa in this case. I don't believe in gods. But what Brother Mudiwa doesn't understand is that an atheist.
Whoa. Did you just say you don't believe in God?
Yeah, I've always said that. You can go check everything. I've been said that.
But he believes in the Creator. He believes in the Creator.
Right.
Oh,
there you go.
That's right. That's the distinction. I got you. Go ahead. My bad. Go ahead.
And that's what I was like trying to say. Like Brother Mudiwa, what he doesn't understand is that when he talks about protons, neutrons, and electrons, that's energy. I believe that the Creator.
We not finna start a whole other debate.
No. I'm just making. That's not a debate.
We close out.
Let's
Classic Craig. Let me make sure. I got you. Hold tight. Classic Craig, can you stay on for a minute? Because I gotta check out. But y'all free to stay on and kick it. But I gotta go. So can you stay on?
Hey man. Peace, family. Great show, great bill. I appreciate the way you did this like a real quarterback. I appreciate you on this one.
I try, bro. I try. It get hard sometimes.
Awesome job.
It get hard sometimes.
I love this one.
Can I lay my two quick points and be done? And
I got a question for you, Asan. I got a question for you. When you want to have that panel discussion where you welcome everybody, all your detractors, to come in a panel and line up one by one to get knocked out?
Let's just set it up. Let's talk. We can. You got my number. I got your number, so we can figure that out. I ain't gonna just hit you with that.
I'll hit you up tomorrow.
Yeah. So let me just say these 2 points. That's all I'm saying. All I was saying to Brother Mudiwa is I don't believe in gods. I believe in the Creator. I have a belief in what's inside myself. I'm not looking outside for anything. It's within myself. All right. And that is who myself calls I. But Duran is not I. So, and that is the electricity and the energy. I believe that we are a lease. I believe our body's a lease. It goes back to the ground. I believe the spirit, the energy goes back to the Creator. That's it. We don't own anything. As I was saying to the brother here, that's the 5%er. All I was saying was if the Creator would have done that for Mary, it would not have started with Mary. That is out of order. Eve should have been the first person on earth. Then the Creator has a right to then go into that woman and make the child, because there is no man here with the seed at that time. But if you're trying to tell me 4,000 years after, and I'm only saying that because I want you to think from that perspective. Just think that's out of order in the Creator. And as a 5%er, you know, it deals with order. It's got to be done in order, and that's out of order.
Right.
That's it. That's all.
And I was, like I said, I was explaining the process to whoever was on at that time, because what that scripture or what that story is supposed to do is to make you think that God is so powerful, he is so mighty that he does not even have to touch a woman to get her pregnant. And that was a concept that I got from that when I read it as a child. And still to this day, that's the concept I get from it. And that's all I was saying.
Hey,
You know,
Yes, sir.
Mudiwa. Last words, my brother. Last words, because these brothers will have us on here all night.
yeah,
Right.
I'm getting at it.
Hey, family, I love each and every one of y'all. Let's move forward 1 inch at a time. You know, let's not have any of the unnecessary backfighting. I'm an open book, man. If I can help y'all with anything on any level, if I can assist y'all, please tap in, reach out, man. Hey, I got a wealth of knowledge and I'm willing to share it. I'm not too.
That's what's up. Same here.
I'm saying that in order for us to move forward, we're going to have to make some dramatic changes. And one of those dramatic changes is not being stuck on ideologies. And I'm not stuck on my ideology. I don't care who you pray to or who you don't pray to. I love each and every one of y'all. I want y'all families to prosper. I want you to live well, eat well, be well, and in 10 generations from now, be well. And I think we need to have that ideology as a people, man, no matter what. And with that, man, let's just change the corner, man. Let's just turn the corner and do something different, bro.
Hey, Muda, you know I got much love for you, even if you was a Trump supporter. You know I had to come bother you. You know I had to come bother you, despite your politics.
Salute to the entire panel, particularly the brother, the King Mudiwa, for coming on. Definitely got to have him back. Shout out to my brother, the God Body. Shout out to Google Scholar. Shout out to the most controversial man on Paradigm Shift, iSun. Classic Craig. This has been Paradigm Shift TV 314. This is your brother DMG the Poet. Hey, I'm gonna be on Sinetta podcast coming up real soon. I'm gonna let y'all know when. It's the Cam Up podcast. Y'all check that out. Also, Vocab Malone gonna be coming on with the Craigs real soon. I got a show coming up Thursday with my brother Coach Brody. We talking about, are men naturally monogamous? Is it natural for a man to be with one woman? Y'all make sure y'all tune in for that. It's gonna be an interesting show.
Hold up, I got something also, DMG. I gotta thank the Supreme Grand Master Elder. That's everybody's favorite, your mama's favorite mailman, aka Mudiwa, for coming to the channel. I'm glad he came on. I can't wait to have him back. Also, the master of desolation, nation building, and actuality, Duran, the fighting champion, has called out nobody cares for the verses. He said he wanted him to be his first victim/student. So he will be on the Battle of Ideologies, man, and we're gonna get that started, man. It's gonna go down. So please like, share again, and subscribe to Paradigm Shift and the Whole Effing Show, man. Hey, I gotta say, it's a beautiful, beautiful thing for us to all to come together, family. Mudiwa did his thing, man. Marlon did his thing, man, and we had people coming up here thinking that electricity and electromagnetism is the same, but that's another story. We gonna get
Shout out.
We gonna get on that because physics say otherwise.
Shout out to the Godfather of consciousness, the one and only Sinetta, for coming in.
Yeah, shout out to Sarnetta. We have We have unfinished business. He has unfinished business with Craig and Craig Law Firm. Classic Craig have a problem with Sarnetta now. I have to join the Sarnetta hate bandwagon. I gotta join it now.
Hey, I gotta play my original theme song as everybody check out. Hey, that's peace. We'll be black at it again.
That's peace.
We out of here.
Peace.
Knowledge itself is important. I get the feeling, you know that. Catch me on front lines, no hold back. All these religions be so whack. Divide and conquer, we felt that. Racist and bigots, we clap back. Big mama taught me to bow my head, but I see beauty in me instead. If your mouth closed, then you don't get fed. Had to read books, not be special ed.